And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, hello everyone. Welcome to a blind shot of Jessamine Bell, which is Jesse Ross's new beta version of his the Darkling Size game. Hopefully, it'll work out a lot better than the last time I tried to run this. I have three wonderful people. Well, two wonderful people, and people who have no choice but to be here because I forced them. If you guys will describe yourselves, starting with you, Chex. Chex?
Yeah, sorry. Look, every time someone says, do you want to do something? I've got a mouthful of food. So, I'm Jax. I am playing Eliza Whitehorn. She is... There's something in the way she stands that makes you think that she may have came from money or had money at some point. But these days she is a bit more rough around the edges, sporting what many would consider to be a man's haircut. Practical and boyish. She's got that kind of look of determination in her eyes that's unsettling to others. And other than that, she is pretty short.
All right, thank you very much. And moving straight on next up to Dan.
So I am playing the titular character, Jessamine Bell, who I imagine is sort of late 20s, dressed very practically, quite tall and long, dark hair. She is on a mission to find her ex and the father of her child somewhere aboard this silent hulk.
And finally, newcomer to the channel, Yo Henrik, what's up?
Hello. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to play our dear, illustrious Lord Gareth Firefly, who will be wherever the adventure is. He's a very tall fella, broad shoulders, has wonderful mutton chops, and has this like orange-brown hair that is known for his family. And on his back, he has mounted a couple of deadly contraptions that he uses to either hunt big game or hunt small criminals, whichever strikes his mood, so to say. He's also wearing this very long and quite nicely embroidered dark blue jacket with gold embroidery, as said before. And it might be a bad idea, but he is on board, and he's going to help Jessamine find whatever she's looking.
All right, so let's read the description, shall we? Jessamine Bell is certain her son's father is still alive on the Hammer, a heavily armed Imperial warship that currently hovers, ominous and unresponsive, over the free world of Haven. The artillery on board and inscrutable intentions of the warship have Haven citizens concerned and ready to destroy the ship outright. And so, Jessamine pleads her case to her employer, one Lord Firefly, an adventurer and member of a noble house. He has recruited a small crew of hired a second-rate skyship, and requested that the Haven Trade Union hold its fire while he and his crew of investigate the mysterious warship Silence. However, Lord Firefly's recruits have taken this job for a reason they have been less than forthright about. Those one in particular, being the one, seeks to free her imprisoned crew. And the other ones don't matter because they're not here. Even now, Jessamine, Firefly, and Eliza approach the Hammer. Their own skyships' reverse thrusters have given out, and a crash on a warship seems imminent. Will Jessamine and the others land safely? If they do, will everyone's hidden motives keep Jessamine from finding the man she seeks? Will the crew put aside their differences once they learn the strange fate that has befallen the Hammer? Let's find out. There's a lovely shot of the wide blue yonder. Now, for those of you who don't know, because I haven't been back very often, this is breathable space. All around the wide blue Hammer is this beautiful, thick blue cloud that circles this glowing, hot sun that sits in the middle of the blue yonder. Skyships float from one asteroid, pretty much we say asteroid, to the other, where everyone else lives. So it's like something like Sky World, and pretty much when you go below the clouds, you start to burn through and go into the depths where strange and horrible creatures lie and arrive. But you don't have to worry about that because your ship can't do that in the Nick and the Hammer. And you're nowhere near that, so there'll be no problem whatsoever. What you should worry about is that as the camera pans through, is a lovely shot of you in the sky, slowly puttering and then beginning your descent. The hammer stretches in front of you as you start to approach it closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Inside the cockpit, 3 figures stand. One being Lord Garrett Firefly, looking fabulous as always. One being Jessamine Bell. And the last one being our lucky plucky pilot, Eliza herself. What do you do?
Well, I chose my crew not through quantity, but through quality. So I hope that my pilot will savor this situation.
Well, do you say that to him?
Yeah. I would then look down. I assume she's sitting in the pilot's seat or somewhere where she can control. So I would just go there, look at her with a firm stare and go, "Land this bird as you will," and look confident forwards towards the onrushing death that might befall us.
Yeah, there's a nod as Eliza takes the pilot's controls.
What do pilot's controls look like? How do you control the cutter?
It's very much like a ship at sea. There is a kind of almost nautical looking steering wheel aboard this vessel, except it's missing a quarter of the wood.
Okay. Oh.
Sectional. And as you turn, it kind of does that whole.
All right. So, what do you intend to do since the ship is slowly going towards it? It looks like it's going to crash.
But also, you're going to crash. It's what do they call that? Kind of brace landing.
Brace for impact.
Brace for impact.
Yeah. Put your head between your legs and kiss your arse goodbye.
So you're going with brace for impact for your actual action. What are you going to do about it? Are you just going to hold on and hope for the best? Or are you just going to be like, I'll be fine?
I can't remember the exact term for it, but essentially I'm trying to land with crash landing, the minimal kind of.
Okay, I like it. Let's do it. Crash landing. So, here's how this works. When you're trying to do any roll, you always start with 1d6 because you're trying it. It's like you try dice right there. So that's 1. Then you pick a trait amongst your 4 traits that you think will apply for this case. That's a 2. Then comes the fun part. You can pick within that trait any tags underneath it that are blackened. That means that you've got them. The clear ones means you haven't got those that you think will apply. After that, you have 7 dice in your pool that you can spend some of into your rolls.
Okay.
So, Eliza, what are you going to roll?
I have no idea.
Well, time to look at your character sheet.
Yep. Okay.
I think I might go Explorer.
So she's got the tags and traits: skyships, navigate, damage control, which would all
within the crew. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it. What tags do you want to go for?
So I can choose all of those tags?
If you tell me and I tell you whether they apply or not, I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, it's skyships, navigating, damage control.
So stop right there.
Yep.
You start with 1 free one. You've got that one, right?
Uh-huh.
You've got the free one for crew. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got skyships, navigate, damage control. So you're on 5 dice.
5 dice.
Difficulty is 3. If you roll an odd number, that's a failure. If you roll an even number, that's a 5 on the d6. Do you want to add more pool dice to this, or you think I can handle it?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
Okay, that's fine. Go for the roll.
If we miss the ship, it's going to be a short session.
True.
But yeah, roll 5d6 and just roll all evens. Problem solved.
The odds are against you.
Okay, he did it. All even.
Entirely successfully.
That's amazing. So yeah, you just do it. Describe how you land gracefully on a ship that is busted and leaking.
There's a moment as the ship rattles and shakes, and you can hear bits and pieces falling off of it. Where Eliza kicks back her pilot's chair and stands up, holding the wheel, almost kind of bear hugging it, and driving the ship down, pulling at the last second to bring it into a safer landing than you were expecting. And she saw this tech come towards you at full speed.
I won't lie, Mr. Lord Firefly. You didn't even lose your footing. It was so smooth. I mean, she was like, "Argh!" And it went beep, and you're just there on top of the hammer. Everything feels fantastic. It's a smooth landing, and there's no trouble whatsoever.
I think Jessamine turns away from the exit she was ready to jump out of with a rope, and then just slowly backs back into the room. Good job. Good job.
What'd you guys do? You've landed at the top of the hammer, around here. Because it's the only place. Actually, you know what? You rolled a fucking goddamn 5 successes. Decide where you land.
I think that's checks.
Yeah, checks.
I mean, give me the division. No, I'm looking at the thing. I can barely see it though in this screen. It's so small.
Remember, you've got the PDFs as well, so you can look at it slightly bigger.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the screen itself.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I made a decent size so you could see it.
No, you did well. It's me that's getting it wrong. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Throw a dart and it'll go there. I don't know.
Where?
Just throw a dart at the ship. That's
throw a dart at the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, it's going back there again.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. You land at the back of the ship. You can see the big mast that sits at the top with a whole bunch of wires running down it. And as you look out the window, which you can pretty much see outside, there is nothing but stillness around you. All the other sky ships park up here. This is the docking bay. You can see there's a whole bunch of other rusted ships just sitting down next to you.
How long has the Hulk been up here? Do we know?
How long has the Hulk been up there, Jessamine?
I would say it's been at least 3 months.
3 months it is.
Just hovering. Okay. So there are all their kind of landing craft or whatever all parked up here with us, and they all look dormant. Disused. Okay.
There's even another cutter. There's a few other cutters scattered about.
So there have been people coming up here before us.
No, I think these are the craft for the.
I thought the cutters were the regional crafts. Anyway.
Yeah, but a few other people have of course the general crafts. People have already had them put on restricted and tied up. Because remember, these guys were at war. So whatever craft they got, they just pulled it in and tied it up in there. So that's what a few cutters about.
Okay, cool. Well, it does look like a bit of we did land in a crashing way, which surprisingly was quite smooth, but nonetheless, it is a dangerous descent from this rather second-rate cutter down to the deck, right?
It's not that dangerous. That landing was so smooth, you can just step over. I'm not you rolled a 5. I can't do anything with that. I'm not gonna make it a penalty to step up. You might have to step off and not just gently glide off, but it's still a nice easy step down.
Actually, Lord Gareth Firefly, as a gentleman adventurer as he is, he would like to assist Jessamine for a swift descent.
I like that. Jessamine, will you accept his hand?
Yes. Jessamine takes it as she's been taught in high society. High-ish.
You know what? Even though it's a small thing you're doing, I think you're turning your key of the patron, get an XP.
I'll note it. Okay, cool. And yeah, basically Lord Gareth steps out of this exit and takes the railing, swings down a bit, and then with one hand he basically leads her safely down to the steel platform of the hammer.
Nice. Eliza, just so you know, you've reckoned with the way the ship, even though you landed quite smoothly, with your reverse thrusters busted, it might be quite difficult to leave again using the same method. What do you guys do?
Is it like it? Can I? Is it eerily quiet on deck?
There's literally no one on board.
So there's no signs of corpses or struggles or anything?
Nope, nothing like that whatsoever.
Where's our nearest entryway?
In front of you, there is a giant set of doors, which are basically open up and allow ships to be pulled in and pulled out. And that probably leads to what would be not the bridge, the transport section.
Like the hangar.
Where you store the hangar, there we go. The hangar basically leads up from down here. That's a big set of giant doors. Other than that, there's a few doors scattered about. If you start walking around the ship, you can find other ways to get in. But a hangar is like a giant set of doors, just basically you waltz in to get into the building.
Well, I guess we've all gathered in front of the craft or something.
I'm hoping so. Eliza, are you in front of the craft or are you staying behind?
I'm waiting for a gentlemanly hand down, but it's not forthcoming, so I guess you will hop down onto the deck with a...
Do I know that you're an exiled noble, or did I just hire you? What kind of...
Eliza, would you have told Lord Firefly who you really were, or would you keep that a secret because you have other reasons to be on the ship?
It would be a secret. The actual name Eliza Whitehorn is not a real name.
Okay, so you would basically, in my perspective of the world, you would be a nice servant who does not need helping. Or an employee, sorry.
All right. So, as you step up by yourself, apparently you don't deserve to be helped down. All of you look in front of you, the big hangar walking around and the empty era ships lying around. Some even slightly rusted.
Well, do we go for the helm? Do we go for the crew? Or do we just see what's happening inside this hangar? It's the largest space. Surely there'll be some evidence of what's happened here.
It is a good idea to perhaps find some personnel on board, and there we might find new information that will surface from a living individual, hopefully.
Very well. And she kind of gives a look to Eliza and maybe points her to the other side of the huge doors, and I'll move to one of them. So we're at least covering both sides. Is there a control panel that I can use to try and open the hangar doors?
It's already open.
Oh.
It's wide open, so you just basically all three just waltz in.
Okay. I'm going to move up to the side and then look in and try and acclimatize rather than make myself a target.
You take your time and run up to the edge and you peek your head around and you look inside. You look into this almost still looking empty space. There's ships still in here being pulled in and parked up and kept into a nice little area. But for the first time ever, because you've been on ships like this before, you have never seen one just completely and utterly empty. There seems to be literally no one outside here in the hangar area.
Does it look like these things are some of them are partially loaded or some partially unloaded, like it was in the middle of something that this
sounds like you want to investigate some of these ships. Why don't you make me a roll for that?
I shall. I'm not
so sure. You leave your safety of your corner and you're going to try and investigate. We'll see what ships are looking good and which ones are kept up. Make me a roll. Difficulty 4.
Okay. So I have two choices. I have investigator with aware, deduction, determined, motives, and military. This is a military craft after all.
Yep.
And then I have prepared, which has things like anticipate supplies, place to hide, memory, quiet, and quick.
I would say investigator makes more sense.
Probably. They both have some...
One for free, one for investigator, and any tags that you think apply.
So let's set this up. So 1 and 2, and then apply so applicable tags: awareness, deduction,
Yep.
determined, maybe not.
No.
Motives,
No.
maybe not, but military, yes.
Yes.
So that's an extra 3, so that's 5.
Uh-huh.
I have to get 4 successes, do I?
Yes.
How? What was the extra dice you were talking
You
about?
always have 7 dice in your pool.
Up to 7.
Yeah, no, you have 7. You can up to 10 because there's a mechanic for that. But I'll show you in a minute. Don't you worry.
Okay, so can I take some of that dice from that pool then?
Yep.
How do we restore those dice out of interest?
When you fail, and also at a refresh.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to take 2 of them. So
Okay.
I'll be rolling 7
Make
dice.
your roll. I remember you're rolling D6s, not D20s.
Yeah. I forgot to change that.
Uh-oh.
No!
I remember you needed all evens to succeed, and you only had 3. All right. So you're investigating the ships as best as you can. You're looking at most of them. Some of them seems to be filled with things, but not much. Like just a few items here and there. Like some of them seem to be like in working condition, or would have been in working condition. But you've noticed something quite odd is that none of these ships on the board have been fueled. None of these ships have fuel. They're all not running on any kind of power. You do see a ship, though, that's sitting not too far off that seems to have power and seems to be powerful. But at the same time as you see that ship, Eliza, you arrive around the corner and you see Jessamine is heading to your old ship.
I rush to catch up as I see her, striding towards the ship. I don't say anything, but I'm kind of one step behind and looking at the back of her head and looking at the back of the ship at the same time,
No problem.
Lord Gareth has actually taken position at the entrance of this hangar and had got out one of his firing implements and just surveying the area as the leading person of this enterprise at marksman.
No problem. Jessamine, you reach up to the ship that you're looking at, one that you've not noticed before. The door is clearly locked. If you want to go inside, you'd have to open it.
Very well. So the failure, did that bring one of the dice back from the pool, or?
Now, God damn, I forgot about that. Yes, whenever you fail, Roscoe, you take all your pool dice back and you add 1 more. So you're now on 8 pool dice.
Okay, I have to try and keep track of that.
If you want, I can make some tokens for you.
Sure.
I'll make some while you're talking. Keep going.
Is that all that happens from failure, apart from narrative stuff?
Yeah, that's all that happens from narrative stuff.
Mechanically, okay. Right. So I creeping forward, maybe turn and smile because I have no reason to distrust Eliza staring at the back of my head.
That's fair.
And then I will whisper to her, "Strange. Everything is off here, but this one. Wonder what's keeping it going." And kind of navigating towards the door.
All right. The door. Actually, Eliza, describe your ship.
It's a cutter, but it's modified. Slightly, just ever so slightly, just to make it more unique. The paint on it, although flaking, is a darker colour than most cutters generally sport.
I like it.
I guess it would have some kind of marking on it to make it out to be a kind of pirate ship.
Describe it. Yeah, I'm happy to have down to that.
We'll say it's an old skull and crossbones type design, but it's skull and cutlass and firearm instead of the crossbones.
Deal.
It's a pirate vessel, and she's curiously looking at this sigil that you absolutely know and have seen many times in your life.
So the door to it, because it's a cutter, has the same like big step you have to get up to, and it seems to be closed. So you'd have to get up and pull it open.
Do you mind giving me a leg up?
Yes, sure.
She gives you another like practiced, beautiful smile, and you hoist me up, I guess, successfully. Yes, no.
Hoist you up, but not before kind of pulling my sleeve down a bit, just to make sure that a certain tattoo is hidden.
Yeah.
All right. You hoist you up and you put your hand on the handle. It's a bit stiff. You just pull it just enough. As you yank it open, something drops in front of the two of you. It flies on down and it hits the ground. It is 3 sticks, about red, cylindrical.
Oh,
and
no.
there's like a timer on it, and it's slowly ticking down as you guys look down towards it.
Run!
4, 3,
Run.
Okay. For those of you who are running, aka Lady Blackbird and Liza, you need to make me a get the hell out of the way before this blows up roll. Now, only one of you needs to roll, but the other guy can help. When you help, you give one of your pool dice to the other person to roll with. And you describe how you're helping them.
You feeling lucky, Dan?
Well, you've had more success than me before.
Yeah.
I am pretty good at escaping, I think. But I don't know how good you are. I'd say you could do it. I think she's going to, like, she drops down, like, to the ground next to you as the dynamite kind of, like, rolls past her. And they both look. And then she kind of goes, starts, like, shoving you in the back and just going, nothing like a little bit of spice of life, is there? And just, like, is trying to assist you by, like, covering you and getting you to move before her.
All right. In that case, checks, make me the roll, difficulty 4 once again.
Difficulty 4, right. Am I adding any traits and tags to this, or is it just...
Yes.
Yeah, always. You can always do that list, unless I say otherwise.
So I don't really have anything that is going to help here. That's the thing, apart from observation.
Well, in that case, you always get 1 for free, and you always get to pick a tag. So you've got those 2. All you need is 1, and then you can just hopefully blag the rest of them.
I think he went with crew and observation then, right?
Yeah.
So that's 3. You've got to beat difficulty 4. You've got 1 extra die from homeboy over there who's helping you out.
I mean, does damage control make sense? Because you're trying to not get destroyed?
Yeah, you could argue that one.
Okay. Oh.
So I'd use a bunch of dice from your pool, probably.
Yeah, I'll use...
And you get 1 from me. Do I have to roll to prove it, or does he just...
Nope, you just give him 1.
Right, so that's 4 before I touch the pool.
So you should be on 4 from you, then 1 more from me, and then...
no, he's on 3 for himself.
Yeah, 3 from myself and 1 from you.
Right,
To
okay.
make it 4, and I'll use 3 from my pool.
All right, make the roll. Just roll it this time. Not like that. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So good news. Dan, you get your token back.
Another failure, so I get another...
No, you don't count as failure. You just get your token back.
You don't lose your dice.
Get your token back +1.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it worked out. Everyone's happy, right? See more dice. Everything's good. What's not good is the explosion that rocks the building and shakes it slightly within its area. It blows. The thing hits the ground. You grab each other and you try to get out of the way, but you're just not fast enough. The explosion hits Eliza's cutter ship and it breaks the ship in 2. Sharpener goes flying out. Both of you desperately try and dive out the way, but to no avail. Both of you mark injured on your character sheets. As soon as the explosion hits, you hear something go as like the systems within the ship is slowly starting to come to right. You hear the rust start to move about, and then you see above on all of the areas about you, gun turrets start to come down. And they start going targeting as they start scanning the area. And there's this really weird red light that's even coming from them as they're looking around for the danger that just caused the explosion.
I assume that I picked up on this whole explosion and
Firefly, you got a few things in there. You reckon something happened?
Well, as I see dear Jessamine in mortal danger, I would like to try to use my gentleman trait to rush in and try to get her out of the hangar before the targeting is completed.
All right. Why don't you make what about Eliza? You're not gonna try and save Eliza?
Afterwards, perhaps, if I succeed.
I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, could you carry both of us? Like,
that would make it more difficult. I could try.
It would make it more difficult.
Yeah.
At the moment, he's hoping. So here's what you're trying to do. You are on the far end of the area. You're trying to run in, grab them, and then find somewhere where you won't get shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Difficulty 4 if you're only taking Jessamine. If you're taking them both, difficulty 5.
I think I'm going to try to be the hero of the day and save both of the ladies.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Make the roll.
I was going for gentleman and go with chivalry.
Okay, that's 3.
Protect.
That's 4.
And sadly, that doesn't work. Dashing would be. It's another thing. I know.
I'll justify that, Henrik. I'm sorry.
So I got 1 for free. Gentleman. So 4 in total at the moment.
Nice.
And
so
then,
it's a pretty brave. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a brave and dashing move.
Yeah, I would.
My heart fluttered.
No, guys, I'm not. No. Had it been brave and dashing, if I thought he looked good doing it, he's trying to avoid the lights of death that are flying around the room.
So, just a question: wouldn't it be considered etiquette to save the women out of danger?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No, I would not consider that etiquette. I'm sorry. You got chivalry. You're not getting etiquette.
No, etiquette is a trait. Yeah, chivalry, right? Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to use 6 dice. I'm going.
Nice.
I don't want to get sushi or Swiss cheesed.
Oh, you'll be fine. You just die. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Make the roll.
So I have 4 in total, and I'm using. I said I will be using 5 more, right? Or 6.
Yep.
5.
5.
Okay, so it's 96.
Just roll all evens. Problem solved. Difficulty 5. You got this. Except for when you roll like that.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think you even made.
I just made 3 of them.
So good.
I mean.
Well, on the plus side, you got dice, and I'll give you another XP for Kill the Patron.
Okay.
Oh no, not Kill the Patron. Actually, I can't give you anything. There's nothing here that lines up for that. So no XP for that. You have a choice, Lord Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
You grab the ladies and you start to move forward. And you notice that as you're looking around, there is a whole bunch of base doors starting to close around the area. You see on the far end, there's a blast door that is slowly sinking. You reckon you can make it in there. There's one problem. If you make it through that door, you reckon with the way those blasters are going, you will not be able to come back this way again. So you can either find a place to hide now and hope you can tank the bullets that are flying towards all 3 of you, or you can dash for that door and eliminate your chance to come back out to the hangar again.
As my there's the option to theoretically escape or get into a dangerous situation where there is no means of escape and you will have to fight. So I will take the theoretical escape option due to various reasons.
I think that's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
So there's a bit where you run up and then you slide literally just under the door of the two ladies in tow. Barely. You get through the area and the blast doors close behind you, locking you all into the ship. You can hear around the entire ship, the doors all shut as well, sealing all of you within. However, everyone's safe, so it all worked out good.
No, that's not true.
So, leaning up against, so I imagine there's a lot of brass or something for some reason on the inside. Like maybe there's like a brass railing, quite Victorian style.
Yes.
She kind of like Jess leans back on it, and she's like partly injured. You can see like some of her clothes are like maybe a little torn or burnt. And she kind of like sucks her teeth in pain and looks up. Probably there's like, I'm almost imagining it's like a saloon car and it has like a mirrored ceiling or something like that. And she just goes, "Well, we made it."
Quite so. We made it here, and I take a look around. Is it like lit up inside, or is, as you said, this has been...
As you say, is it lit up inside? You hear it, and then like a single line of light bulbs line up around the area, giving now this like pseudo, like very like slightly luminescent glow around the whole room. It's not like a big like whoosh. It's still dark and shadows are forming around them, and there are very few lying about. The emergency lights have kicked in. Meanwhile, the ship itself is going intruder, 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 intruder.
I think we need to try and find something to turn that off.
That is definitely a good plan.
Well, what would you like to do?
Is there a map, like a lift, a section with lifts that obviously has
if
map
you want to try and
directions?
navigate the ship, your best bet is to do it by memory or knowledge. If you know your way through the ship, you won't have to worry about what's called navigating it, that's for sure. Have any of you people been on a ship before?
Yes.
Well, in that case, why don't you make me a roll to see what you can remember about the hammer?
I've been on this ship or been on a ship?
This ship. Or
No.
a ship. Or
I've been
a
on-
ship like this ship.
Been on a ship. So
Like
presumably
this ship.
kind of know a layout of how a ship would be, like where engineering is compared to something else.
Nice. I like it. But you've never been on this ship before, right, Eliza?
That's right.
Excellent. Make the roll.
Okay.
Difficulties 3.
So I've got 2. Navigate. Sky ships.
Sky ships, yes. Navigate, no.
Okay. So that's 3.
Now, if you said like you wanted to use boarding action because you've raided the hammer before, I can
Yeah.
give that to you.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, funnily enough.
Well, what really? When were you raiding the hammer? Tell me more about that, Eliza.
Well, it was an old life, a different life. I don't like to think about those days.
Well, I think there's a reason why her crew is here.
Oh, could it be that the reason why your crew is here is because you tried to raid the ship and it went horribly wrong?
I wouldn't know anything about that, obviously. Well, I wasn't there.
Okay, I can take that. Well, if you went there, I can't give you boarding action.
Presumably, she's jumped aboard other ships in the past.
Okay, I'll take that. That's fine. Take boarding action.
You're a gentleman in the scholar.
You're welcome. Although you really should just tell me that you've been on the ship before because it makes my life easier.
Yeah. I'm still going to add a couple from the pool to this.
Do it.
So I'll add 2, I think.
All right, make the roll. Difficulties 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll take those 2 from you.
Luckily enough.
Eliza, you understand the layout of the ship. Tell me, what path do you need to take to get to the elevators? Elevators, that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I guess there would be an elevator or a hatch or some to get between decks.
Yeah, there is one of these like Oh, describe it for me. You've been on the ship before. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Well,
So
how do things go from one floor to another?
most of these ships have different sections. Some of them are for the officers who parade about or anyone of bearing. The rest are for the service crew who can navigate using tunnels. Almost. So there are small tunnels at the side of each floor, each deck that you can use to navigate. There's no elevators, but there are stairs on most of them. I don't know, maybe the hammer is slightly more advanced.
So mostly stairs. There might be one elevator or two if you're pushing it because it's more advanced. But most people tend to use tunnels on the sides of each floor to get about. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So very similar to like the old frigate ships.
Okay. Are these tunnels you have to crawl and hand and foot on, or are they walkable?
They're walkable, although they're not very wide, not very tall, but they are walkable.
Okay, gotcha. So in that case, you reckon you now have a good idea of how to get to different parts of the ship using those tunnels and the stairs.
Okay. Glad we brought you along. I think we need to try and deal with the lax in security, or relaxing security.
Intruder.
Yeah, and then maybe swing by the med bay.
We should perhaps shut off the alarm first, and then we can continue and plan onwards, one step at a time.
All right. How are you going to shut off the alarms?
Presumably, with Eliza's ship now, she knows that the alarm's either controlled, I'm guessing, through either engineering or a security. Okay.
Well, there might be a kind of like security section that does all of the control somewhere within here. You'd have to find it. Shouldn't be too hard for you, though. Especially if you've got a tunnels going around.
I mean, this ship is indeed an Imperial warship, and as I am a noble, I should have some kind of like personal security code that I could use on these kinds of, or do I have any influence in the military in that way?
Do you?
I think I would have. I have served my time, and as an honorary member, I would at least still have some codes to shut off these things for derelict crafts, kind of.
Excellent. You have those codes. No difficulty whatsoever. You're Lord fucking Firefly. I'm not going to stop you.
So,
but now you've just got to get to the security point.
Yes. For that, I have employees. Correct.
So in my mind, security would actually be away from engineering and more towards the bridge area. Because that would be an officer's control.
Okie Wow, are you going to head there?
Yep.
So you begin to make your way through, walking gently, and it's still eerily silent. You can't make out many people. And as you're going forward, you can see there are signs that people used to be here with like things left over and food thrown apart and everything pretty much quiet out. But as you start to get further and further in, you start to see more and more of this. Like people are still here. You reckon you can't see things being on or like stoves being used or anything else like that, but you reckon people are still actually around this point. That much you recognize. It doesn't take long for you using the tunnels to get through to get to a point where you think you're near around the bridge where the security base might possibly be. And that's when you start seeing the slime. As you come around one of the smaller tunnels, you notice that on the side of the wall, there's this really icky looking green like slime that's just running down the side of the wall. Probably from like really bad cleaning or horrible like clogging of pipes or some shit like that. You don't know. This ship is powered by some crazy stuff. But it's running along the side of the wall and it's like itchy and kind of gross and weird and slamming down.
Does this pouring slime block the entire like entry or tunnel?
No, it's just like on the wall. It's just weird and icky on the wall, disgusting. Nothing much about it. It's just there. However, ahead of you, you can notice the security door.
Good.
Guys, I can't make you go open the door, by the way. I just want to point this out. So if you guys want to say something, you gotta go do it yourselves.
During my time in military duty, have I heard of such freak events of slime appearing in the upper decks?
Not really. You reckon? I mean, like, to be honest, you're a noble. Would you really be looking at slime? In fact, if you saw slime, that'd be disgusting, and the person who made you see the slime would be fired. Literally, with guns.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit.
Yeah. So I'll, again, as I have employees, I will instruct her. Which name did you give us? Like, obviously, your real name is a mystery to us.
Yeah, Eliza Whitehorn would have been the alias.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just so you know, Whitehorn is a noble's name, so you probably want to change that.
Okay, so I would have given you the name Eliza Gray.
Miss Gray, could you please open the security door and investigate that curious phenomenon there? I would much rather not do it myself. And you've been, of course, paid to do so.
There's a moment when she looks at you, and she looks at the door and she moves towards it. A small head shake. She ignores the slime on the walls, though, and goes straight towards the door.
All right. Lord Firefly, you've just been blanked. Congratulations. It sucks. As you start to make your way towards the door itself looks like it says security right there. You can even hear the gears inside churning and spinning and making a horrible noise and all of that jazz happening within the thing.
Let's open it up and head inside.
You pull open the door. You come into what looks like a room full of a whole bunch of funky looking like switches and gears laid around the hole, and a man sitting in the chair in front of it.
Facing
his back towards you.
There's a moment when you see Eliza walk through the doors and she sees this man. You see her posture completely change. The leg goes back. She kind of stands, ready to kind of draw down. And with one hand comes up, she motions that there's someone in here. I assume there's some kind of hand signal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, this is an Imperial warship, so seeing someone here is actually a good sign. So I start strolling towards this security door to address the person and make him responsible for all the things that are wrong here.
I love that. That's so good. All right, so what'd you say when you get up to him?
Like,
he's sitting there in the chair. His back towards you.
Attention, a nobleman has arrived, and could you explain the situation to me?
There is no answer.
Haven't you heard? Stand up and face me or face my wrath.
Still no answer.
That is preposterous. I will then circle around to face him.
As you circle around to face him and you come all the way through, the first thing that strikes you is that this person's suit looks slightly tattered and worn down, pretty much from age. As you come around and you spin towards him, you notice that it's a man in full army imperial gear, but nothing but bone underneath. It is a full-on skeleton that's sitting in that chair with you.
You will be excused for not standing up.
You can get an XP for Key of Swagger for that.
Okay. Do I find the control console where I can put in my security code to shut off the alarm?
Yes. It is sitting right there in front of you. It's in front of the guy, in fact. It's like in front of him. It's like a code that you're just typing in front of the thing right there.
Okay, I would like to approach and do so.
All right. You go up to the machine. The guy's in the way. That you have to move him.
I will take out my gun, and with the butt of the gun, I will try to like move him away a bit because he's been here around, and I don't know what kind of smut is on him, so I will not have my jacket be tarnished by his whatever.
Nice.
Just like move him a bit away so I can access the panel.
Double nice. All right. You push him a little bit slightly away. The panel is there waiting for you. You reach up and you say, start putting the code in.
Mm.
As you start to put the code in and the boss got the code in, it takes a while for the machine to run it, but you see like a signal run through it and then go off the area. The intruder sound finally stops.
That is how it's supposed
to be. A hand reaches out and grabs you from the skeleton.
I eke up.
It comes up and it leaps up and holds you. As soon as it holds you, the hand that was full on skeleton starts to gain flesh. You see the muscles start to form, the joints start to grow up. You reckon you can see like just underneath the skin as it starts to form again. The whole body is doing the same. It's slowly forming into a face, but you can't see the eyes because there's nothing but muscle all the way through. It just about forms a mouth and it mutters the words, "Help me," before it just suddenly reverts back to skeleton and its arm just crumbles to dust. And its whole body hits the ground, and the bones itself just crumble into dust and nothing else.
Even in death, you have to be in this disappointment to the Navy? Terrible. And he's like trying to overplay this kind of like shock and bring out his like bravado, but there seems to be like a bit like a trembly undertone, I would say.
No problem.
Well, Jessamine, where shall we look first for your lost one?
I think. Can I am absolutely going to fail the roll, but can I do some sort of deduction on the slime outside while they were doing that?
Excellent. While they're doing that, make a roll. Actually, no, don't make a roll. There's no penalty for this. You look at the slime and you sort of like try and check it out, and you're trying to figure out what it could possibly be. And you reckon there's something in the pipes, maybe in the water, that may have led to kind of like sediment to create this.
Okay.
But what it means basically is that these people just don't clean their fucking pipes. It's disgusting.
So it definitely is emanating from water pipes.
Yeah, it's the water. It's just like a sediment from the water that's been running through. They must have been running it the entire time they're having the ship, and this is just the result of it at the end. Like a lime scale building up.
Yeah.
And slimes.
Yeah, so she was looking at that and then like hearing her name, she like wanders in, none the wiser to her.
There's a crumple of clothes on the floor with dust coming off them.
It looks like the slime's from the water pipes. I wouldn't drink the water here. Oh, and she like quirks her head slightly. What happened to him?
The crew here doesn't seem to be up to standard. He was dead, and then he was alive, but also not very useful while alive and then dead again. Terrible, this service.
Her eyes, like, widen. And maybe we should find Carson sooner rather than later.
And solve the mystery, of course.
At this point, you can hear footsteps rushing up to you.
Can I drop inside the doorway so like I'm pressed up against the wall beside the door?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like listen?
Yep.
Maybe hush the others.
You can hear that there's like marching footsteps, like bah, 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 bah. Like something's actually running towards you.
She like whispers in a stage whisper, "This is security, isn't it? Something coming."
I shut off the alarm. might be a welcoming committee. Perhaps they'll try to make up to me what they did now. And he like peeks through the hallway, like from security console. See what is coming.
All right, from the hallway, you reckon you see four Imperial soldiers marching up.
Great, that is good news. So they don't seem to have any weird aspects to them. They're just straight up
like straight up everyday military people.
Okay. Yeah.
Eliza, what are you doing? You've been quite quiet for a while.
She would have taken a cue from Jessamine and kind of warmed up against the wall. After seeing the skeleton happen, yeah, she's not taking any chances.
I think that's probably fair. All right, back to what you were doing, Henrik, aka Lord Firefly.
Well, Lord Firefly will holster his weapon and assume a noble's pose and await them to ask them their reports and all that kind of jazz. Just like he's waiting for them to approach him because that is how things are supposed to happen.
Excellent. The men come on up and they sort of stop. They sort of stop and they sort of go, intruder, pull your weapons down and come out from behind the security room.
I beg your pardon. I am not an intruder, but an Imperial investigator with authority to look into this. My name is Lord Firefly, and you better address me in such a way.
The minute you mention their name, you see, like, one of them is like, I don't think, and the other guy's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And he sort of looks over at him, he's like, they sort of look at each other, they look at you, they look at each other, they look at you, and then their eyes widen, and then they take like a stance and they salute.
That's more like it.
Apologies, sir, we didn't know it was you. Have you had a welcoming party to come on board the Hammer?
My welcoming party fell short of automated turrets, so I wish a report from you now.
We're currently being raided by pirates. We're trying to take them down, but they have most of our area surrounded. We're not quite sure how many they are. We're trying to take them as fast as we can, and our leader is ensuring that we keep this place ship in shape, and then we shall continue the bombardment of Haven.
Please bring me to your leader, to the commanding officer. I wish to have a talk with him. We have some things to investigate on this vessel. And
sir, yes, sir. And like he nods and like he salutes. If you let's come this way, sir, and let's give space for you to walk forward.
I will look to Jessamine or look back and call for Jessamine, I guess. Jessamine, these gentlemen will help us with our quest of finding the missing one.
She straightens out her slightly charred and tattered clothing a little bit and like flicks her hair over her shoulder and regains some composure. And then strolls out there with full confidence. Excellent, Lord Firefly.
Eliza, what are you doing?
She's going to wait for the others to leave. She's going to approach this pile of...
Stop right there. You're going to wait for the others to leave, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Lord Firefly, you notice that Eliza is not with you at this point.
Okay. I would then address her. Miss Gray, please hurry up. We have a quest to do.
Now, Eliza, if you want to try and hide and get away, that's a different matter entirely.
No, nothing. No. I'm simply taking a look at my kind of thought was to take a look at these tattered clothes.
You can probably grab them on your way out. But because this is happening, remember, because you got a little bit of time to do it before he takes you away. But if you want to hide from them and do your own thing, that's also possible. But in the meantime, you've got to do something about that.
Yeah, she's just going to
grab the clothes and look at them quickly and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's all she's going to do. Poke and prod quickly and then rush to get up.
You look at the clothes; they look old and worn, like someone's been like wearing them for quite a while and quite ripped in kind of odd places. There's nothing much of them that seems to be of value, other than the fact that they're pretty much like they've been worn to death, which literally is what happened.
no mementos or any kind of
He
personal
does
effects.
have a pocket watch that sits within his pocket itself at the very far top. You crack it open and you open it. It's got a picture of like a girl with a big smile on her face.
I will take the pocket watch and rush to meet up with the others.
Cool.
There was no like strange residues or anything on the clothing, like exposure to the slime. Okay.
No, just normal everyday rotten out clothes.
Mhm.
They lead you guys further inside, and you start to walk. But you have to go a little bit more, like further into the area itself, until you reach about a set of doors that they basically just put their hand down and go, "We're here," and then they slowly start to open. As they open, you enter what looks like one of the viewpoints of the area. You come on down to a beautiful, lovely, sunny-looking like view of Haven from the side. As the ship is there, and you see a whole bunch of men within this area. This looks like a temporary barracks that they've built up. They've put like a whole bunch of barricades in. There's like a few beds being made and like pampered up, and everything's like cleared up and fine. People are sort of like shifting up things and like pulling up guns and carefully wrapping them in. These guys are all wearing your typical straight up military uniforms. Same type that the guy upstairs was wearing, like usually like straight blue with the cap.
Their clothes look much newer.
Hmm?
And
Their clothes look normal.
Not like they've been aged or are particularly old or anything.
Nope.
I would like to address one of the soldiers while we were walking to here and inquire on this peculiar soldier that was skeletified in the security room.
He sort of pauses and looks at you and goes, "I do apologize, sir. What are you talking about? We don't have a soldier, what's called, located in the security room."
Most peculiar. That is odd. Anyway, continue on.
So, yes, sir. And he carries on walking with you guys. As you come into the barrack-based room, they sort of like look at you and nod and go, "If you like, sir, we can take you to our leader or we can bring him here to you."
I will enjoy the view and he will come to me. That will be all right. Thank you.
He nods and he goes, "Yes, sir." And then they sort of like go off to give you that time. They give you a chance, basically. You guys have a moment to like just sort of chill and relax. And I would say this is a really good time for you to do a refresh period. So when you do a refresh period within the game, 3 things happen. 1, you have to talk to another character about the situation so far, or have a flashback to what's going on and answer a question I ask you. When you're done with that, you get to refill your pots of empty tokens. So your dice comes back to 7. If it's higher than that, it stays that way. You get to remove one of the conditions you have if you try to treat it. And you get to refresh your secrets. 1 secret.
Okay. I would like to elect that Jess and Eliza like have a moment together patching themselves up or something with a med kit that's in this barracks.
Yeah, sure. People will gladly supply you with stuff because they see you're injured and hurt, so they'll gladly give you some stuff to patch yourself up with.
So she's like maybe applying some sort of anti-burn like balm or something to your arm, and she gives you another one of those winning smiles. So I noticed not many people answered the call of Lord Firefly, but you did. Are you here for the mystery of the place, or are you really here to support me to find my Carson?
Truth be told, the personal matters of yourself were second thought. There's always a job to do, and someone has to do it. Oh, do not get me wrong, I certainly wish you find the one you seek.
Yeah, she looks a little wistful for a moment, a little melancholic maybe. That's nice. I understand for some that you got to have money to eat, to live. But yeah, there are some things more important than that. I hope I find that here. And she gives you a little less confident a smile.
Eliza will lay a hand on your shoulder and say, right, there's always things more important. Hope, for example.
Yeah, I'm still hopeful. Even for all the weird things going on this ship, I'm sure Carson's okay.
If he's the man that's caught your eye, then I'm sure he's more than capable.
While we're here, gentlemen, tell me about Carson. Are you guys still together, or?
I think that they, have like a fairly typical kind of military family relationship. Like she's a pretty independent person, but he's like away on deployment, for long periods of time. So that suits her kind of fine. And maybe he's away for months at a time, but this seemed a little different this time. But I think he's like a little bit older than her, so like early 30s or something, and big, like broad, strapping kind of fella, with the same, like oddly with the same dark hair she has, and I think he's lieutenant, so he's been, at the soldiering gig for quite a while and on a bit of a fast track. Good officer material, a good man. But I think there's somewhere maybe that wishes that he was around a little bit more for their child, Henry.
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
That aside, checks. Eliza, your real purpose is to be on the ship and find your crew. But you were exiled a while ago. What did you do to become a pirate and get a crew of your own?
There was a contract put out by a merchant company, and my late husband had said contract. When he died, I took it on, and I endeavoured to complete that contract at all costs. What was unknown to me was the manner and bearing of my crew, who attacked and destroyed an Imperial ship without my knowledge, but my name was blackened as a result.
Ah. And are you flying with that same crew now?
Some members of the same crew.
Okay. Finally, Henrik, what is Lord Firefly doing for this refresh period?
I think he's currently enjoying the view, as he said before, and his mind is traveling to his younger years, because our dear friend, Lord Firefly, did not have a very overjoyous youth, as his parents were very high-ranking noble and aristocrats that were employed in the diplomatic service and were away for extended periods of time, and he was left with a very dry tutor of his own. And thus, the only way of escape or of true entertainment was the expansive library that his parents maintained. And in there, his favorite section was, of course, the adventuring book. And from there, he drew inspiration, and you also built up his aspiration to become such a famous hero and venture out and make more than just words, make adventure and heroism happen, and prove this dry tutor wrong, that he's not just a kid with short attention span.
Like it. Well, that's fair. So, Refreshing is over. Everyone put your pull back to its maximum of 7. Oh, not to maximum. I'll put it back to 7. Remove 1 condition if you try to treat it, which you did, and regain the use of your secrets.
Yay.
So, I believe everyone can just draw dice from the point. I'm going to have to give it to you manually. Hang on. Oh, God. Let me deal 1 to checks. And deal 5? No, 4 to Firefly.
Yeah, 4.
There we go. It doesn't take long before you hear the stampings of what looks like a military man coming back towards you. He starts to step up, gently making his way forward towards where you people were. And as he gets up towards you, you see he's a tall, broad-shouldered man, full-on military regalia with buttons lined up across the side of his chest. Like pretty much just scattered down here, which you do because you were in the military. That's just how cool you are. He looks at you when he gives you salutes and he goes, good morning, gentlemen. I am I am Admiral Zakaya, and this is my fleet.
Greetings, Admiral Zakaya. My name is Lord Firefly, Gareth. A pleasure to meet you.
The famous Gareth Firefly, squid hunter extraordinaire. Pleasure to finally meet a man of good caliber, and he puts his hand out to shake it.
Yeah, I will definitely shake him. I see him as an equal, so to say.
I must confess, I wasn't expecting a wonderful Imperial noble himself to make themselves upon my ship, but I will welcome you as I would welcome my first, second, and fifth-born son.
Thank you very much. We came here on a little errand. We have a missing person to attend to. This is my wonderful companion, Jessamine Bell. Her husband went missing.
Charmed, I'm sure.
She puts her hand out, playing up the act. Her mind is wondering what happened to the third and fourth son. And she really wants to ask, but she won't right this moment. Outside in the Empire, there's a great many people worried about this ship. It felt silent for such a long time. So Lord Firefly here was keen to see what had occurred.
I do apologize. We didn't mean to ensure that we'd be fighting for so long, but these blasted pirates came up on our ship, and we've been waging war with them ever since. I've sent word out to have the Imperial ships come and bring us some supplies so we can take them down and destroy them. But unfortunately, I'm stuck with what I have. It's such a shame we've had to use these poor, innocent viewing rooms as a viewing point. But on the plus side, now I can look down, even though I shall crush it, and its freedom soon, as it should be.
Indeed. All glory to the Imperium.
All glory to the Imperium.
She eyes them as they said that.
Shouldn't be a matter though. We'll just do another attack on them, take them out, destroy them, and ensure that they don't come again. We should be fine.
Of course. I was wondering if you knew the location of Lieutenant Carson Talbot.
Lieutenant Talbot?
Yes, we're here to rendezvous with him, particularly.
I'm sorry, my dear. He sticks his hat up, goes, I think I have a bit of bad news for you. We lost him when he began the fighting took over. The men who are attempting to take this ship down and destroy from within, they all sit in the engineering room. And the reason why we've not been able to move this area, and all we can do is have the viewpoint and the controls. The bridge is not too far from here. As such, I've not been able to head back to Imperial space so I can destroy them what's whole. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Carson is one of those people who had the idea that perhaps he would like to run some kind of spy network and see what he can find out. He left a few days ago and has not returned. Those blasted pirates down by the engineering room have caused this, and I apologize for what you've gone through.
She stands there and usually you've seen her like move quite lithe and sort of ready to adapt. She seems like ready to pounce, but she stiffens at that, especially along the jawline, and she stands there for a moment, just like glaring, trying to pry some sort of answers from the eyes of this admiral. And finally, she speaks out. I know my cousin. He'll have succeeded at whatever task you have set him. I do not believe that he is dead.
I understand if you do not wish to. I mean, you are of the fairer sex. You probably need a moment to grieve. But please do not take this as some kind of insult. I do not think he survived at all. I'm pretty certain they would have found him by now. He has not reported back in such a long time.
She takes like a sharply inhaled breath, and I do not take this as an insult, but I know the man who is the father of my child, and he still lives. And then she like turns on her heel and walks away.
You see him like take a step, and he looks over and he goes, I did the best I could. I'm sorry I could not be of more help. If you wish, you're welcome to stay here while we try another assault upon the engineering room, if you'd like, Lord Firefly. And who is this fine lady?
This is my employee, Miss Gray.
Miss Gray, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Indeed.
And he nods towards you. In the meantime, you have fresh use of my quarters. Feel free to arrive some water and do what you need. I have a lot of planning to do. After all, Haven won't conquer itself. Have a good day. And he's going to give you a short bow and he heads off.
Before you go...
yes?
Again, we have this errand to run. Can you spare any men that were part of your espionage corps and know the region where her husband operated? I would like to take a closer look.
Unfortunately, I cannot advise that you take any of my men there. If you were to take my men there, this may possibly be a suicide mission. That is where they are holding up. The engineering spaces where all the pirates have kept themselves safe. I would not wish that upon the West enemy.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Anything else, we're happy to help.
Good. Good day.
Good day. All right, guys, what'd you do?
I would approach Jessamine and go, well, it is a grave new turn of events, isn't it?
She's like composed herself a little bit more in this time, and turns to you and goes, "Grave news? What grave news? We know where my husband is."
Well, we don't know the exact location, and the territory where we want to enter is sadly infested with deadly enemies or opponents.
She like plies you with a sparkle in her eyes and this slight coy smile. Well, a brig full of pirates has never stopped you, Lord Firefly, from going anywhere, surely?
No, of course. That is nothing that scares me. I have hunted far bigger game, and it has known to fear the name Lord Firefly.
So then we set off at once? You can show this admiral up when we get rid of this information.
Yes, that is true. And your husband might have vital information for the coming assault and future conquest. So both things are good things.
Good. Well, let a girl gather her things and then we shall be off.
Jessamine Bell, gain 2 XP for Key of the Mission and gain 1 XP for Key of the Poet.
Woo!
Lord Gareth, gain 2 XP for the Key of the Patron.
Thank you. I have 5 XP now. Woo.
You can spend it on a new trait, but you can do that anytime you want.
Yeah, cool. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you.
Excellent. Eliza, while they've gone off to hide your own thing, you sort of stand there, sort of mind your own business, and you notice that there's some of the crew are looking at you a little funny. They're sort of turning their heads towards you and then whispering amongst themselves.
Are these the kind of are these officers or just general crewmen?
General crewmen.
Yeah.
They're all. Everyone's a police. Everyone's a military man, but they're all general crewmen.
Yeah. Eliza strides over to them. She's got that look of command in her face. She can put on that facade, and she will use it as she strides over to these men. And she'll reach towards one of them that happens to have any kind of cup, be it coffee, water, rum, whatever it may be, and she will take it off him and drink it.
So, yeah, he's like, fuck, he's sipping something in there. You can grab his like, he's like, oh, oi!
You would see
back, please.
You would see a lady go without? What kind of man are you?
A
stuttering fool, that's who you are.
And he looks a little bit sad. He goes, my missus gave me that.
She's got good taste. Well, in some things.
Ooh. And he's something you seem like, ma'am, can I have it back, please?
Fine. But I see you looking over here at us, talking to yourselves, whispering. I know what crewmen get up to. I know they hear more than the officers do. Get ears all over this ship. What have your ears been hearing?
They look around, they look at each other, these other girls. They don't know quite sure what to do. They look at you and they're not quite sure to trust you. And let's see if you can convince them to bring aside, my dear Eliza. Make the roll. Difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3, let's see what have we got. Nothing. But I do have a secret of the chameleon.
Yeah. Becoming a pirate of living life noble means that you can use anyone else's tags and traits as if they're your own. So use it.
Yep, so Firefly has the good
chatting to people's traits. Do it, pop it, use it, go.
I also quite a lot of good chat traits.
To chat up people?
Yeah, it depends how you want to take it, chicks. But I have a lot of chatting traits if you will, depending on which way you go in.
You could go with my braggart traits. That's pretty good. You could go boast, confidence, tall tales, and perhaps even ego. Kind of to dash in there and impress them with your force of personality.
Or basically, if you want to seduce them, you can get about 4 seductions.
I think I might go for Jessamine's. They are crewmen on the vessel.
That's true.
Right, let's count them off. You start with 131, then what?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, next.
Flattery's out the window at this point. Seduction isn't out the window, though.
Yeah, I'm down for that. 101, next.
Manners, because she is talking to them as one of their own.
I'll give it to you.
And I don't think I can convince comforting.
No, nothing. You took it. The guy's missus is missing. Like, what's up with you? What's up with his wife? All right, 4 dice. 4. Do you want to use any pool dice?
Yeah, I'm gonna use 3 pool dice.
Go on then, pop it. You don't need to. I'll get it from you. Roll. Did you get it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Woo. And 3 pool dice are mine. You come on in, you're swinging up, and he looks at you and goes, all right, well, they sort of look over and they're like, well, we know where Carson really went.
I'm listening.
So Carson, right? He wanted to take this mission to go out there and investigate the engineering pirates, and he was sure he could get them. But the truth is, he wanted to get to the communications hub, which is right next to engineering. I think he went to call his missus or something. So he left out there, and he gave her a call and tried to speak to her. I bet he did, just to let her know that he was all right, because we're in the middle of a war and stuff. He wasn't about to be able to tell her any other way. But that's probably where he went first. So I reckon if you get to engineering and you sneak up in there, he's probably still hiding there somewhere. It's not been that long. It's only been a day. I don't know why the captain thinks it's been so long.
Oh, you know how officers are.
Aye. Probably didn't help that we started a thing with us letting with those goddamn pirates boarding us to this stupid ship.
Pirates are wily.
Mm.
You've got
Miss,
to watch.
can I say something?
By all means.
When I was younger, we had a mission we had to do not so far away for the Whitethorns, and you're like the spitting image of the little girl.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking at an older version of her. It's crazy.
I really should try and track down a picture just to see it for myself.
I swear, trust me, you will not believe the resemblance.
Well, you've given me some good information. It's always good to see.
Yours.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
Hank.
Eliza.
Nice to meet you, Eliza. I know Captain said didn't want to say anything else, but can I ask her a favor?
Perhaps.
Could you send a message to my missus?
Don't see why not.
I
don't see why not.
Well, she's really fine. I really like her a lot. I mean, just tell her that, it's not bad. Her name is Massey. She's an Imperial Elysium. I've got a picture of her, and he takes out this pocket watch that he pulls out, and you see her go like this, smiling directly at you. If you just get her a message, that would be great.
What's her name?
Massey.
Massey, okay.
M-A-S-S-I-E.
Yeah.
I will convey that you are longing for her.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just, it's been so long. I mean, I just want to make sure she knows. It's like I've been here for a few days and I haven't had a chance to say anything, so I want to make sure it's done.
Is this your first time away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. She knows.
Oh, good. I'm normally just security and I take care of the electronics around the place, but I try my best.
Maybe you should check the name tag on those clothes. The dusty one.
Yeah. Was the picture the same picture from the...
Yes.
Oh,
it was exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
Well.
So when I say to him, she knows. She knows. Excuse me, Hank. I should be getting back.
Sure. If you need help with anything else, let me know. I run this place.
I'll hand the cup back.
He takes it. It's like a whiskey flask, because that's where he was drinking from. He takes a sip of it. It's like. Mm.
And as I walk away, I think there's probably a kind of moment where she kind of goes, "What the hell did I just drink?"
All right, guys. You guys meet up together. What do you want to do?
I would actually like to invest the 5 XP into the key of the commander.
You can only have 3 keys.
Ah, I didn't know that. I thought there were 2 more key off.
Nope, only 3 keys. Only reason is that raise that key and put another key in.
Okay,
so
good.
If you buy off one of your keys, you can give yourself a key.
So you get that. Okay, cool. Sorry.
But you need to do the thing that the buy off says.
Yeah, that will probably happen quite soon.
I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of fighting quickly.
All right. Guys, what do you want to do?
When Eliza has come back, I'm not sure if I know if she looks a little shaken or not. I'm not sure how well she holds herself together, but Jess seems keen to press on towards engineering because that's where she thinks we've got to go.
Yeah, I will impart the information I learned about Carson back to you.
Is that just as we kind of get out of the military base barracks?
I would probably do it while everyone's getting ready.
Okay.
Because I assume you're still sitting there pondering Carson's fate.
No, she seems like you see her, and you don't know if it's like a foolish thing, but I think she's like got her mind made up that he's still alive and that she just has to go and get him regardless of the danger between the two of them.
Okay, so it's probably seeing your determination on your face.
Yeah.
I showed it up by giving you that information.
Okay. I think there is a wave of relief, at least directed towards you. Like, she obviously doesn't want to make a big fuss about it or challenge the admiral or something. But yeah, she is privately relieved. See, I knew it. My cousin isn't that stupid. I just got to get to communications then.
All right. So what'd you do?
I think actually Lord Firefly would be kind of like dismantling and rearranging and re-equipping his prized possession, his firearm, just to like eke out a couple more minutes before he has to go into a combat, which he of course is not afraid of, but I mean the weapon needs to be maintained, of course. So yeah,
I will give you. No, I can't give you an XP for that. Actually, don't worry about it.
No.
Because it's not coming to play where you've gone. I'm going to avoid it. All right. So.
I just wonder, like, do they? I know they can't send people, but do they have? I don't know if we even have any weapons. Like, does Jess have a weapon? It doesn't seem like so.
I don't think Jess has a weapon. Jess isn't a gun wielder. Because one of your tags isn't a weapon. But you can probably get one if you ask nicely.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, Hank.
Yeah. Well, she was going to ask Firefly to requisition one. You don't think they've got any pistols, do you? Lord Firefly?
Yes, my dear.
And do you think they have a sidearm? Something suitable.
For you, milady, Don't worry, I have quite the extensive knowledge about firearms, and they can be quite dangerous for some less equipped and less trained. But
I'm hoping to remedy the first, and I'll just have to get over the second.
Sure. I'm going to see if I can requisition anything for you.
May want to get something for Eliza as well, just in case.
Miss Gray, could you please approach?
My lord?
I have not inquired, but are you in any way trained in weapons?
Trained? No. Skilled and capable? Yes.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Please wait for me. I'll talk with the Admiral. There should be enough arms here to supply 2 damsels in distress. And he struts off.
All right. You strut up to where the Admiral is holding, and you see he's in the middle of talking amongst stuff, and he's like, another guy sort of leaning next to him and giving him instructions on where the whole layer is laid out and the map of the area that's been put down. And he sort of looks up and he sort of looks over at you. He's like, do excuse me, sir. And he goes, certainly. And the other guy sort of nods towards him and bows towards you. He's like, hello, you're catching me in the middle of war preparations. Everything all right, sir?
Almost. We are preparing to venture out, and we have a couple of leads that we still have to investigate before we leave the cargo. As there are pirates here, which I did not know, I feel a bit under-equipped, so I would like to requisition 2 firearms with low recoil. if possible.
Absolutely no problem whatsoever. One thing for you. And he goes, excuse me, sir. And he goes, yes. Do apologize. I haven't introduced myself. And so I give you a short little bow. And he goes, I am Augustus. I am the quartermaster and keeper of ensuring everything's bad. He goes, oh, nonsense. You don't need to put that down. He's a new ranking officer that I've just put in charge. It's good to have one with noble blood in point. He goes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, we cannot spare extra weaponry for your lady folk.
No, of course. I was trying to get to arm myself. I have to protect the lady folk, of course. So I will need enough ammunition to send the whole pirate crew scurrying away like the game I'm hunting.
But you are wielding a rifle now. I would not want to be the one to tell a noble whether they can and cannot wield a weapon.
I'm quite the expert on weapons, and in close encounters, it is good to have smaller arms, so greater mobility. I have learned that in the jungles of a distant planet, where I did hunt some very nasty snakes, and having there a long rifle can be quite cumbersome, so I have been trained in the dual wielding of short sidearms. So I, as a noble, will requisition now to sidearms.
And I, as a noble, will deny you. You are going onto a suicide mission that's going to get you and your people killed. I do not see the need to waste a weapon upon you. And they seem like step up to you right there.
Can I basically try to intimidate him? Like,
no, tell me, do it. I'll let you know when you kick it in, but you haven't kicked it in yet. Because you're going, well, I know things. Well, I know things. So intimidate me. Go.
Sir, I have hunted several beasts, and I know that pirates are not much more than animals, and I can solve this problem. I believe that Carson is still alive, and if I find him, we will bring him back, and he will bring back information that will lead to the success of your assault. You're attacking into the blind at the moment. You could be ambushed. All the weapons that you're currently storing might not get used when you're ambushed from the dark. If you have information, you have won half the battle, and you need information on the enemy whereabouts. So I would need those weapons to ensure the success of my expedition, and I will. How is it called? I don't know. I don't know it on English. Like to stand in for with the name Lord Gareth Firefly. And
yeah,
like Bergen.
You can swear upon your name that you will do it.
Yes, and I will return the weapons.
All right. In that case, make me a roll.
I don't know if I want to go gentleman or braggart.
I'll let you brag, but not intimidate.
I think you hit more of the braggart stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I think then I would go braggart.
Difficulty is 4.
Braggart, boast, confidence, ego, tall tales.
Yep, I'll give you all those.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice that I have base, and it's a difficulty 4, right?
Yep.
So I take 3 more.
All right, do it. Spend that dice.
So I'm at 9.
Make the roll.
Come on, boys. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5 successes.
5 successes? Nice. What'd you use? Use 3 dice, right?
Oh, yeah, 3.
You see Augustus go. Well, I do not think it is fine, sir. And he steps up and goes, I am the admiral. I can decide who has the weapons. Lord Whitehorn, I appreciate your words, but this is not the time for the moment for you to have a house fight upon the others. And he goes in and he opens up a drawer, goes, here are 2 of my favorites, Dis and Stroy. Feel free to use them and bring them back.
I will send the pirates a warm welcome from you. And he just gives them like a handshake and good fellow smile, so to say, and then head off to the ladies.
You see Augustus looking at you and his eyes are narrowed, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay, cool. I will then probably like holster the weapons and will provide the weapons later on.
Yeah, that would be wise. I imagine I know you weren't like super shouting at it perhaps, but I think I was like focused in on that conversation to see how it went, and she's just a little shocked as it was going along perhaps. And then like as you like turn back to her, there's the famous smile again. All set.
right.
Let's leave.
Indeed.
And we head off towards communication, I guess, whichever way Eliza suggests.
All right. So hence communications isn't hard. You once again have to take the tunnels. As you start to take the tunnels, you're starting to see more and more of this slime that is oozing all over the area. Especially the way towards engineering seems to be mostly covered in it.
I really should have asked someone about that.
You make your way further and further down within the bowels of the ship, and the heating starts to get up to you, and it starts to be a little bit more. It's not long before you reckon you're about maybe like a few, three or four doors, like maybe 50 meters away from where engineering is. What do you guys want to do? How are you going to approach?
We're heading for comms. Do we have to get past engineering to get there?
Yes.
Okay. Does Eliza share any particularly supernatural goings on that she is privy to that other people aren't privy to?
Oi, stop metagaming.
Funnily enough, I was just thinking about that, and I can't really kind of work it in because it's like,
hey guys, woo!
So, Eliza, which way do you think's best? Or just anyone else, I guess.
if I was the pirate crew and I was in engineering, there would be lookouts posted somewhere. They would have a vantage point at least of the corridors that go by. So for the time being, might I suggest that you await here and I will continue on my own, and I will signal to you when the coast is clear.
Are you sure you'll be okay? I mean, I don't look like an Imperial.
As Lord Firefly keeps saying, I have been brought aboard as an employee. I'm here to do a job, and this is part of it.
Well, if you insist, and she like puts a delicate hand on your shoulder, and like just says lowly, like leans in a little bit and says in a very low tone, I value you more than that. And then like she turns from you to go find a hiding spot.
Go on, gain your goddamn key, you freaking goddamn poet. Come on.
So that's another XP. Woo.
And I think there's a moment where Eliza's eyebrow kind of raises. One eyebrow raises and she kind of looks at you before she moves away.
Okay, so
read into that whatever she wants.
What do you want to do?
So engineering is on this kind of path that we're on, and then you've got comms afterwards. It's the engineering room I want to head into.
Okay. You know there's going to be lookouts posted around this weird, dimly lit area, so you know it's going to be difficult to get through. How are you going to approach it without being seen?
I'm not. I'm going to approach it in the open.
Oh, okay. You start to hold on one second. I just realized I'm not asking my boy Firefly. Mrs. Gray wants to approach the dangerous area that they've been known to have dangerous pirates in by herself.
Actually, she's my employee, and although she's not a lady and can take care of herself, I am the leader of this endeavor, and I would actually be interested in knowing all the whereabouts of my employees at any time. So I would accompany her and ensure that Jessamine stays somewhere safe.
I would very much advise this against you following me, my lord. In your Imperial gear, they may not ask questions before they open fire.
We are here to not be seen. We are to see where the lookouts are and then navigate around afterwards. So my Imperial uniform, as it is no problem, I think.
I would pray to dissuade you from this. You, as often stated, I am your employer. You employee. You brought me here for a reason.
Well, the reason is that you're a damn good pilot and that you can steer a craft. A dead pilot can't steer a craft, so as your employer, I have my interest at heart of getting off here, so I can't leave you into the hands of pirates, which might use you as a pilot. And then I don't have you as a pilot. You surely understand. And you well know that I am, after all, renowned hunter. And although they have sentinels, I can move like a shadow.
Yes, you speak highly of your hunting abilities. But as far as I'm aware, game does not shoot back.
I would tell you other tales. Once, in a far-off planet, there was
Lord
this...
Firefly. Watson's waiting.
I'm the whole like, oh god, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Lord Firefly, stop.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I choose to sucker punch. No.
Oh, yeah, right, of course, Jessamine, there are pressing matters at hand, but still, I have to insist that our pilot is not sent into the jaws of the beast.
If I cannot dissuade you, my lord, then feel free to follow. Although I would suggest you stand a few paces behind me.
Yeah, that will be all right. Okay, now I'll keep tabs on her.
All right. You step a few feet behind and you start to move forward there. Eliza, you're taking a step forward. You're making sure it's moving off of your strength is how it's done. You're feeling great. As you start to step closer and closer and closer, you hear from the shadows, you can see slight movement around the area. You hear a click and you hear a, who goes there? What's going on? Identify yourself.
Eliza will stride into any kind of beam of light that is in this kind of shadowed area
Then,
to make sure she's well observed.
Yeah, Lord Firefly is probably moving through the shadows and keeping like a low profile, and is probably a couple paces behind as asked. So he's probably not in the light, and he's also probably not seen at this point.
Yeah, and you'll hear Eliza identify herself not as Eliza Grey, but as Eliza Whitehorn.
do you say that out loud while Lord Firefly's next to you?
Yes.
Well, have I heard of this terrible legend?
You know the last name though. That's a noble name.
And I'll just like look very astonished and kind of like indecisive at the moment, because like these are recent and new developments, and she's a noble. What? Like he's.
You hear a click from the gun, and they go, "Wait, you're a noble? Like the Whitethorn family?"
You know the name. You know the reputation.
Stand down, gentlemen. Stand down. Stand down. Stand down. Eliza, you are expecting your crew members, or at least some crew members, to be coming forward with the whole weapons got up and stuff, which is kind of odd because there's only about maybe the cutter can only take about 6 to 7 people max and pushing it. That's what you had on your ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you're expecting maybe 2 or 3 of your crew members to come forward, but instead, what you see stepping up forward in a marching order with their salutes coming next is the familiar gray uniform of the Imperial. I look at you and they do not go, apologies, we did not know a noble was on board. If we had known, we would have prepared the area more. Are you all right? Have you met the pirates?
No, indeed we have not. We believed you to be them.
Unfortunately, no. We are soldiers of the Imperial Empire. Glory to the Imperium. And they wait for you to both to bow. Like...
Yeah, I won't.
You won't? Oh, wow. Firefly.
I step into this spotlight because I was in the shadows before.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like dressed in correct uniform because the others were
uniform.
The others were in blue, right?
Yes, the correct blue uniform.
The correction blue uniform.
Okay, so he just like, glory to the Imperium. We really thought you were the pirates, but I am Lord Firefly, Gareth.
It's Lord Gareth Firefly. Oh my god, I'm fucking sweet. Sir, it's an honor to have you on board.
And it's a pleasure to meet you, Lady Hawkthorn? Whitethorn. I did not know we were accompanied by more blue blood. And he looks like quizzical at...
Sir, it is dangerous to be here. If you would like to step along for us to take you within the entrance, that would be understandable.
1 second, we left a companion back who might be of a bit finer nature. I'll be right back. And he'll return to, he'll go to Jessamine and kind of like retail what he saw and just go like, this is most peculiar. They were supposed to be pirates and they are Imperials.
Does he find me? Have I been consumed by the slime? Or...
No, the slime has not consumed you. You're good.
Am I wearing the correct grey or blue uniform? Are you sure it's me? Yeah, she was hiding somewhere. She's surprisingly good at hiding. But she comes out when you start like foghorning it up, just bellowing down the corridors. You met the Imperials?
It seems like this camp of soldiers are also Imperial in nature. I assume there must be some kind of problem here.
Have they ceded from the Imperium?
No.
You don't think there's a civil war upon this ship?
I think they might have some kind of misinformation going on here. We also had that skeleton thing, so it could be that there's something more happening here, something that goes above the minds of these simple soldiers. But I give you my word and my name that Lord Firefly will get to the bottom of this mystery. But first, we should perhaps interrogate these soldiers. Would you come with me?
Of course.
I'll lead her back.
You lead her back. You take the full on forward. You take an initiative. You join Eliza Whitethorn, who is standing there waiting for you, and the three of you get together and go, would you like to accompany us to our base?
Jessamine?
I will. Is there like an officer or a sergeant there or something?
Yes.
She asks as they are being escorted back or something. Do you know of Carson?
Carson?
Lieutenant Talbot.
Ah, Lieutenant Talbot, yes. He was part of the assaulting force when the pirates first came in. I believe he returned back with information about what happened to them, but we haven't seen him since.
Where? So you think he was, like, the pirates assaulted above deck or towards the bridge? Right.
He sort of looks at it, goes, yes. Then he sort of looks over and like Lord Firefly and looks down at you, and you see him sort of like try and ponder whether he should keep talking or not.
Continue onwards.
Yes, I believe we have a record of a Carson Firebolt being one of the dead when the pirates attacked.
You think Talbot fell?
Yes.
Hmm. And how long ago?
When the pirates attacked a few days ago.
Okay. Do you have anyone stationed in the comms?
In the comms? No, we've not been able to get that far. We sent a person to go give it a look. Lieutenant Hank went out to see if he could find anything else important, but he hasn't come back.
Send Hank to the comms.
Yes.
Right. What? You say you haven't been able to get that far? Is it because these pirates keep ambushing you?
Yes. Whenever we try and send a quarry further up north, they don't make it back.
No one has ever come back. Okay.
That's the reason why we're trapped here. At which point, you guys arrive at the barracks. They open up these large doors. You can see in here, there's no longer that beautiful view of Haven and all of this wonderful glory. Instead, it's like this, like churning, beautiful night version of Haven. You can see the light underneath the bottom part of engineering because it opens up into the bottom below, and night has fallen in this lovely open area. And you can see these people like run up there. It's like barracks have been made up, like a makeshift barracks have been put up here, and people are like going along and doing their work and cleaning weapons and get ready for the next assault.
This is inside the engine room, but they've like turned it into a barracks like the last time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's nighttime outside that you can see.
Yes. And we arrived definitely in the day.
Yes.
Okay.
As you all sit there and take a look around and sort of while they look and go, if you excuse me, we need to go get our leader and bring them to you if you do not mind waiting, or you can come along and meet him yourself.
We will wait here. Thank you.
Not a problem. And sort of leave you there and go off.
So, Jessamine, news have arrived, probably not to your side, but we have another blue blood traveling with us without our knowledge.
She looks around.
Eliza Whitethorn, who formerly known as Eliza Gray, was traveling with us. Would you mind telling us a story that is behind that, Eliza?
I would mind, yes.
Well, you did lie to another noble and you used subterfuge to get here, so I would appreciate some clarification.
Perhaps, but a deception takes two parties. One to tell the lie and one to believe it.
Still, I want this problem clarified, or why would you do that?
I'm curious if Firefly would know of the Whitethorn, the kind of reputable tatters of the name.
Why don't you tell him? And if he doesn't know, just tell him.
Mm-hmm. So once upon a time, yes, I was considered a blue blood. Many years ago, my late husband, Nicholas Cavern, he took on a contract Well, needless to say, you've probably heard of the Battle of White Sky.
I'm very sorry. I was deployed in another front, so the details are fuzzy on my side. Could you refresh my memory?
You bastard.
If you're gonna make up a goddamn battle, you better fucking back it up.
My husband's company was employed to essentially be the scouting force, as well as carrying cargo important to the Imperial. However, there was dissent amongst the crew. Dissent that my husband could do nothing about. After that, it was difficult to get the contract of any mission. And my husband died, leaving me almost destitute. But still with his name, still with the reputation that he had, I was managed to claw up a new contract. Simple cargo mission. However, it did not go as planned.
What occurred?
Interestingly, I'm not entirely sure. Possible double cross, triple cross even. But what happened was the downing of the Imperial ship, the Terror.
Oh, Never been a man of the Navy, but you were then. I assume you weren't on that ship, so you were on the other side of this conflict?
It was my ship that destroyed that particular vessel.
Well, that is, I hope, not under your command.
My orders may not have been followed, but my name was Mud.
I understand. That is quite the story.
And so after that, I took to a different life.
At this point, you hear footsteps approaching.
Can I just ask, have we been like left alone, or are they like soldiers milling around or
They are
patrolling?
still just milling around.
Okay, right.
As you sort of come there, you see my man is walking up to you. He's wearing your full-on grey uniform, and he's delted of medals that just run along the side of his chest, like full on. There's nothing but covered upon it. He stands up and looks at you, and he gives you both a tasty nod, and he goes, "Gentlemen and ladies, it's a pleasure to have you on board and have another noble amongst our ranks. I am Admiral Zakaya.
He's wearing grey uniform again.
Yeah, I am Admiral Zakaya, and it's a pleasure to meet you all."
And he's like the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, that's trippy. And pleasure to meet you as well, Lord Gareth of Firefly.
Ah, the famous Lord Gareth Firefly. Absolute pleasure as well. He puts out his hand to shake yours.
Yeah, a bit more reluctantly than the first time. He just he shakes as well, but he still is like unsure what's happening here, so he's confused.
And he looks over and goes, "And who may this be?" As he looks over to Eliza and Jessamine.
Can I, like, seeing him, can I, like, check the revolver by my side, or...
Oh, I actually haven't delivered the revolvers to you.
I presume you probably did, but I can check them on his belt, but...
Yeah.
Do they...
You check... They look all right. You haven't touched them, though.
Okay. They're not, like, rusted and horrible.
No, they look perfectly fine. They look perfectly fine.
Okay.
As the introductions have been made, Eliza's just not paying attention to the ones in front of her. She's looking around. She's looking specifically for one person. She's looking for Hank.
You actually do not see Hank here.
Any of the crewmen? Like the one I stole the flask from, or
You
anything?
reckon the crewman so far was Hank, but you see some of his friends standing by.
I'm just going to leave and walk towards them.
Cool. We'll do it for you in 1 second.
Nope.
He sort of looks over at you. Zakai looks over at you, Lord Firefly. He's like, well, what brings you upon our vessel? We apologize, but we're in the middle of a bit of a war. The pirates have taken over the north part of the bridge and have prevented us from being able to communicate or drive the ship away. We have the engines, but we don't know how long it would last.
Could you perhaps describe a bit closer the incident where the pirates managed to wrest control of the bridge?
Yes, we were assaulting Haven and getting ready to board it and bombard it and take over it, as we should do, as it belongs to Imperial area. No, none of this free man bull crap. When we had a pirate vessel board us in an attempt to hopefully circumvent our systems and take us down. Naturally, we put up a good resistance. We managed to stop that thing. I sent good old... You saw size. I had sent good old Admiral Carson to help stop the fight. Unfortunately, by the time we came to and realized what was going on, they had far more people than we thought, and we were hurled down into this tunnel. And as such, we're stuck in the engine room.
That is quite the dire tale. Do you know anything about this? The problem with the slime? It seems to be more prevalent in this part. There are these oozing substances that are in the corridors.
That's strange. Gentlemen, yes. Why the slime in the corridor? We'll clean it up now, sir. You do that! And they run off. There, problem solved.
Good. Thank
you.
Getting worried that this ship is not being maintained up to standard. But I see there's a capable commander here.
As there is. Admiral, please, if you don't mind.
Commanding officer.
Admiral.
And Admiral at the same time.
Thank you. I fought hard for these medals.
So, yes, our dear Jessamine here is looking for this trusted lieutenant that he sent out. We also...
Lieutenant's name?
It was Carson.
Oh, this was... I do apologize. Sorry, apologize for your loss. Carson, one of the few men who was taken out at the beginning of the fight. He went to investigate, and I believe the men said they saw him come back, but no one has seen a sign of him since.
It is very nice for you to show such hospitality. We have a couple of things to investigate on this vessel.
Please, feel free. My ship is your ship. Do not go anywhere past the north towards the bridge. That is danger.
Okay, thank you very much. We will keep that in mind. Good day, and I hope.
Oh, also nice guns.
Yes, they are quite pristine.
He looks over at them as he looks on your side, and he sort of like squints his eyes, and he seems like looking a little bit confused. Then he shakes his head and goes, "And do excuse me," and then he walks off.
Good day.
I like step up or step closer to Lord Firefly, and now that the Admiral's walked away, because I didn't want to like draw weapons when the commanding officer was there, I want to like just slide the gun out of the holster.
As you touch the gun, rust starts to run around its side and edges. It slowly starts to erode upon its own self until finally, you're holding a hand is a rusted piece of metal, not capable of doing anything.
Well, that is peculiar.
I think he recognized his own guns. He gave you special ones.
Well,
may I suggest we perhaps ask for his and see if they rust away as well?
While you're there, leave you guys alone. Eliza, you see the men sitting there talking away and they're looking a little bit. They're talking, but they don't seem as jolly as they used to be before. And they're passing like a flask amongst each other.
I'll approach them, and as I do, the kind of arms come out. So each hand rests on the back of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Boys.
They look at it like, "Oh, ma'am," and they straighten the shirts.
Yeah, ma'am's a formality. Call me Eliza.
Certainly, ma'am. Eliza.
What's in the flask?
Would you believe iced tea?
I would believe iced tea, and I would swear to it. Can I have some?
They look at each other for a second. Their faces darken a bit. But then one of them goes, "It's fine. He got it for us to share," and he passes back to you.
Take a long swig and pass it back.
Just like I did last time.
Yeah. But I'll make a kind of yeah.
And I look at you and they nod solemnly and they take it back and it goes, "It was our friends."
So you're drinking for a loss?
At least we think it's a loss. He's been gone a few days.
Gone where?
He thought he'd get lucky, try and find a way to shut the security system down. He hasn't come back since.
A fellow by the name of Hank, by any chance?
They look at you and go, "Yeah."
I'll pull out the pocket watch.
And they look and go, "Did you find him? Where was he? Is he all right?"
He is both all right and not all right.
What's that supposed to mean? Where's Hank? Did he get past the pirates? Did he shut down the systems? Can we leave?
Lads, I do not want to sow any terror in your bones, but I will lay it out for you. We found Hank in the security room, which is where I came across his pocket watch. I then met Hank, alive and well, apparently. And he told me to pass on word to his missus, Massey.
They look at you like you're fucking insane. And they go, "Ma'am, we do not like one to joke about the dead. That wasn't funny, that wasn't big, and that definitely wasn't clever." They take their flask and then they walk away. Meanwhile, what are you two doing?
I'm kind of like urging Lord Firefly to go talk to the Admiral so we can see if his weapons rust at our touch, or if this is real or not. That's what I'm keen on doing.
As you're heading towards the Admiral, you guys are making your way down. You hear the doors swing open. Someone goes, "They're coming! The pirates! They're here!"
Oh God.
The men are like, "Battle stations, everyone!" People start like scattering about, getting guns, getting people up, making sure things are loaded up. They're like all pumped up for this. It's great.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. What'd you guys do?
Something's not wrong. Something's wrong here. This is not supposed. Jessamine, any suggestions?
Oh, guys, don't forget you still haven't checked the communication room yet.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening here, I think we should go to the communications room, because that is the last place that we haven't checked yet and where perhaps less crazy things happen.
Perhaps.
It's going to get hot in here and something is not right, so I wouldn't want to meet my doppelganger or anything.
Like Jess nods. She moves to Eliza, and basically kind of like grabs it by the wrist and goes, "We need to get out of here." and then like makes a movement to dash to the communications before they lock everything down.
All right. While they're busy, like basically arming up and they're heading out that way, people are like loading up things. You got you two. Do you three head towards the communication room?
Yes.
As you head towards the communication room, you sort of like make a rush to get down to that point. It's not that far from the engineering. It's just around the corner from it. So you don't have to leave engineering to get to it. You can see there is a lovely large set of doors and the door is closed.
Is there any control panel where I can put in my phone?
Oh no, you can just pull it open. It's like wheeling to open it up.
Ah, cool. Okay, I'll do so as I am.
As you start to wheel it, you see a handprint slam against the wall, and a face appears. Jessamine, you recognize it.
In like a glass window.
Yeah,
it's not just coming through the wall. I had to check that.
Through the wall, it goes no on the glass window, and you see a face pop up on it, and it looks terrified.
And it looks like Carson.
Yep.
Yeah. Carson, open the door, open the door.
He starts going like this.
He's trying to get us to get away.
He's trying to wave. He's just doing this.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah.
I stop.
Is that like noise of pirates or something bearing down on our position at all, or any kind of gunfire? Or
you can hear footsteps running out, but you can't hear gunfire.
I don't know what you're playing at, Carson. Let us in.
And you see him like run around. He grabs paper and like he writes desperately on it, like desperately, and he holds it up, and the paper says, "Don't come in." And he like scribbles again. Then he goes, "Run while you can." Oh, I probably shouldn't show my fucking address on my internet. By the way. No one saw that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Only in the internet.
Just gonna hit pause on that. There we go.
Oi! And he scribbles some more desperately, trying to like get things like written on. And he's like holding on to you, and he points further away. And there's a microphone on the other side of the communications thing.
Okay, I go and press the button. What is going on, Carson?
Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. I don't understand what's happening, but everyone is doubled, maybe tripled, maybe bad. I don't know, but it happened as soon as the pirate ship came up. Things just became twice, and if you go near things, they change and they grow old. You need to get off this boat right now.
You locked yourself in there. You can't
because
leave?
I don't know what happens if I walk out. Something is doing this. Someone is doing this, and I don't know who or why or how.
You said it's when the pirates turned up.
Yes.
Where is their ship?
In the hangar bay. What? What's wrong?
40 tons of Swiss cheese.
Yeah. Well, that's where we landed. And then there was explosions and there's not much left of it. There might be some things there, but the automated turrets.
I did shut that down. We did deactivate the intruder alert systems.
Yeah.
Was that you earlier?
I don't know how time works here anymore, but we did come and we did set off the alarms, but we turned them off again. But it seems like people have been trying to do that before.
They have, but it doesn't always work. Well, it did work, but it didn't work. Okay, this is what I know. 3 days ago, pirates came down. According to my head, 3 days ago, he came down. They They came in. They assaulted us. They tried to board us. We tried to hold them back, and then we held off in the engineering room. Or did we hold off in the bridge? I don't remember. But something weird happened between that. Then I kind of realized I wasn't really there, but I was. It's really confusing. It's like I'm in 3 places at once. I don't understand it. All I know is that I had to get here and I had to warn someone. I can't. The numbers are different. The numbers aren't the same, but they are. And when I'm here, I don't remember as well as when I'm there. And I can't think. Listen, Jessamine Bell, I love you and I love Henry, but I can't put you in the same situation I am. I don't know how long this thing keeps up. I don't know how they're doing this. There's some weird blood magic or something. I don't understand it at all.
She has that like determination on her face again. You stay here and I'll sort this.
Wait, honey, no, you can't. You don't know what's out there. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what's causing this.
Not come all this way to not find out and not bring you back to Henry.
He sort of looks over at what communication. He's like, okay, there's a ship's log. It's not in the bridge, but it's in the captain's quarters. It's in between here and the engineer room. If you can get there, you might find something.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And she kind of like she looks over to the window where he isn't, and then looks back to the comms, goes, I won't need it. With a little like sly laughter to it, and then the line goes dead. She is already walking towards the captain's quarters.
Gotcha. All right. I think this is a pretty good time for another refresh, guys. Because dice has been spent, I believe.
Yep.
All right. So, what would you like to do? Remember, to get your dice back, you need to have a moment from the character.
I would perhaps talk with Jessamine about all these weird happenings and why we haven't been doppled, or what is happening. Like, kind of to reassure that I'm not losing my mind, to basically talk with her that she is experiencing the same things that I am. Kind of like trying to get a recast there.
Go for it, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. We've still got 30 minutes to go.
So, Jessamine, the thing with the bridge happened with you as well. They're all doppeled, right? People.
Yeah, from what I can see, they are. I don't know what all this has to do with it. I think the pirates obviously came and triggered, and something triggered. Either they brought a weapon, or this ship maybe had something experimental on it that didn't appreciate being attacked, or maybe something stranger. I can't help but think it's something to do with the pipes, the slime,
Yes, the slime is very, very weird. Normal Imperial vessels should be clean, and this isn't. That's one thing that chafes me the most a bit.
Log should hopefully be able to tell us something. Maybe there's a way to stabilize what's going on here, an antidote to the slime, or some way to shut something off.
Just imagine if we could get behind this secret, we might have the key to double the size of the Imperial army and get great renown through that. We could become famous for discovering the cloning technique or whatever this is. As long as we uncover the mystery and put the.
I think I'd settled for one husband. Thank you very much.
Double the glory to the Imperium is always good. But
all right, I think that's just about enough for me to ask a question. Lord Firefly, is this the very first time you've been on a military vessel? You seem to be mostly a little bit odd about it, but you've mentioned about being in big battles or being near big battles with big creatures around. Have you ever actually been in a battle?
Actually, he trained in the military, but he was always in the reserve. He was commanding troops on uncontested territory, and at some point, he grew bored and he asked his dad to discharge him honorably, and then he went hunting. So he wasn't really in battles. He was only in commanding positions.
Gotcha. And you seem very confident in doing this, Jasmine. Is this your first mystery? Or have you done something shit like this before?
I think she's confident of putting her family together, but I don't think it's the first time that something weird has happened. Maybe not quite shifting reality in this way. Maybe it wasn't quite slime related or not, but I think she's seen things or enough things to not be entirely fazed by the weirdness and be confident in her abilities to pull her partner out of this.
All right. And finally, Eliza, what would you like to do for your refresh so I can refresh your points?
There's a flashback mechanic you mentioned, because
yep.
Yeah. How does that roll?
You simply just start talking about the flashback and it happens.
Okay. Seeing the interaction, the husband and wife, especially the determined Jessamine, that interaction between them actually takes Eliza back to her late husband and his deathbed when he returned from one of his last contract, and Eliza had presented him with a kitten and then looked at him and gaunt and grey. A few weeks later, the fever took him, and as he kind of went the way of it, he turned to her and he said, never look out beyond the window. There's nothing out there to concern you. You've got one heart, and you're not the home for the heart of others. There's no care for your benevolence, so don't care for the lack of it in anyone else. Do not sit at the window and judge, because sorrows will pile up around you, useless, ugly, and overinflated.
I think that's pretty fair, and I'm remembering that. Right, everyone, refresh. So, refresh your secrets, get your tokens back up to 7, and you get to remove one of your conditions. And now we shall go into endgame, hopefully, just in time to finish this. Let me just make sure that is right. How are you guys doing so far? Everyone all right?
Yeah.
I would actually expend my 5 experience to get another point, another dice in my dice pool.
It'll give you. You can spend 1 experience for 1, I believe.
Increase your. You can
maximum pool size. Oh wow! Yeah. Okay, I didn't realize it was that way. Okay, in that case, yeah, your pool size starts at 7. Your maximum dice is 7. So you want to spend 5 to increase to 8, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And deal and get 1 more.
Dan has been saving up his dice for the end game.
To be honest, I haven't been making that many rolls. Like, you guys have been getting her there. She just acts determined, and you guys sort the problems out around her.
All right.
Luckily,
As you're heading up,
Yeah.
you start to see something very interesting. On your way up to the captain's quarters, you see the battle taking place, or at least what the battle would be taking place. You can see people, you can hear people like screaming and fighting and getting ready to shoot guns. But as they get closer to each other, their clothes start to wear down, their body starts to wear down, their whole form starts to wear down. And as they move up, they just slowly disintegrate into nothing until just their clothes are left behind. It's going on around. You see, like, almost like it's a strange that the captain's quarters itself, like, pretty much is like in the middle, just for dramatic version, in the middle of this battle place. And as people are rushing towards them, they're slowly growing older and losing their flesh and bone and arriving. And it's happened to both sides as they're rushing in towards each other. The men are getting less and less and less.
The big question, are their uniforms gray or blue?
They're gray. They're blue. Why do you guys keep laughing about it? I'm completely confused. But one side is blue, one side is gray.
I'm curious, like, so they all just wither away into dust and clothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it. Does it just vanish entirely and looks like it's been repeating itself on loop again and again?
Kinda, yes, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, then we should, like, we are in the captain's quarters, right?
Yeah, it's right in front of you. It doesn't take long to get there. You open up the door, and the captain's quarters is the most rusted part of this whole area. It is just a back of like fucking rotten walls. Leaks are coming around the corner. The slime is all over the side. It's horrific.
Elizabeth. Eliza, sorry. Eliza, my dear, you know where the logs are, right?
It should be hard to locate.
It's not.
Well, then
It doesn't take long for you to find it. It's like within the captain's quarters where the Admiral Zakai would basically sit and do his work. There is this old, rusty-looking like metal case that basically secures the book.
Pop it open.
Yeah, is it locked or is it openable?
It's openable. You pop it open, and the pages are like old and archaic and very gentle, but has a list of pretty much the inventory, the people serving, all of that.
Carefully, very carefully, turning the pages, because I'm not interested in the crew at the moment. I'm actually looking to see what they had on board, what was in their cargo.
Written on the cargo area is gear that they've taken from people they've conquered and beaten. Along at the very bottom, as it says, the last thing, it says tank, pirate ship, and the date from 3 months ago. Held in the hold.
So the pirate ship in this instant is certainly connected.
I didn't hear a word of what you just said. You just mumbled slightly and I didn't get that.
Sorry, that's the Scottish accent.
He said the pirate ship and the tank are connected.
There you go, translate.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yes.
We return to where we started.
It seems that way. We go full circle.
All right. How do you intend to do that?
I guess the kind of tunnels again.
All right, but remember the blast doors are closed and are sealing you in. You need to find a way to get out.
I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, you're I don't know about you. You're fine. All right. So for ease of use, you managed to get all the way out to the very far top. It's not that far. The blast doors are still closing in your way.
I'm actually just going to do something really just. This is terrible. But I'm gonna turn to Lord Firefly, and I'm gonna say, "Fuck the Imperial," and I'm gonna grab Jessamine.
Yeah.
It gets me, and I'm gonna do my secret.
Are you leaving Lord Firefly behind?
Yes.
Do you just want the 2 XP for that key right now? Is that what you want?
No, I generally there is a distaste for the Imperial in there.
Go for it. Right. Make the roll. Difficulty's only 4. Of course. 1 second. Dan, does the lady go? Does Jessamine go with her?
I don't know what the ability is about to use, but she does trust her. So yeah, I don't know what you're about to do. So
all right, make the roll. Difficulty's 4.
I'll just give you the secret quickly, meta-wise.
Secret, isn't it? My bad. It's not even a roll. Just do it.
Yeah, it's the secret of the apparition. Once per refresh, I can, and one person I'm touching can become intangible long enough to pass through a wall or other solid object. Cool.
Lord Firefly, you've been left behind the blast doors.
Preposterous.
All right, the 2 of you end up on the other side.
Is that kind of thing regular? People going intangible?
Not really.
It's when you can do it.
Only nobles can do.
Oh right. I mean, I don't know how weird these incursions are, but she's. I mean, I think you grab a wrist like she did to you earlier, and then kind of just drag her with you as you go intangible. She kind of puts her arm up as she would hit the door, but then goes through it and stumbles a few steps, and then looks around.
Yeah, and as you stumble, she Eliza kind of holds you. You want to find out what happened, and you want to try and fix this.
Yes.
This is how we do it.
Okay.
Dropping her back to her feet, I'll look around for the pirate ship mentioned in the inventory.
All right, it's there. It's the pirate ship you blew up. Half of it is broken on the floor and still smoking from this attack. The machines are gone down, but the other portion of your ship is still there. The cutter.
I'll head towards it and try and get in through one of the gaping holes on its side.
Not a problem. As the 2 of you board upon the cutter itself, the very first thing you see when you come past the explosion that was around the edge is this device. It's like this tall, held together device that's just this was not on your ship the last time you were on it. It's round and it's got this weird green pipes that run off it, that are running through it into the ground. And you can see it pulsing and pumping this weird green liquid away.
So there are tubes pulsing green liquid into the bows of the ship, but they've been crudely cut into the ship, I guess. Installed and pushed in. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's just constantly pumping it into the ship. You're not even quite sure how it's still going after so long, but it's just filling the ship with something. It's weird.
She is just fascinated by it. How is this thing still working? What is it? How does it make a residue?
Don't see this every day.
It generates it by itself, you hear a voice say.
Oh God. She spins.
Standing on the other side of the room with pulsing is a man that 2 of you hadn't really paid much attention to when he showed himself, but Lord Firefly had. Augustus takes a step forward and he sort of looks towards both of you and he goes, "Perhaps I didn't get a chance to introduce myself to you two because I was far too busy trying not to make a sign up with that inferior nobleman that you travel with. I am Augustus. It's a pleasure to meet you. Also, thank you for loaning me your ship, Eliza. I do appreciate that. So we all just stand there quietly and no one says anything, guys. Guys, I can't monologue if you don't talk to me.
I'm just giving checks a chance.
I was giving you a chance.
Okay. Sure.
Well, we've got no flashing
I'm
Canadian
behind the
standoff.
shutter.
Yeah.
I know, Firefly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I look.
Get back to you in a minute.
I look to
I'm
Eliza.
sorry.
When he says thanks for the ship, I look to Eliza and maybe they share like a slight smile. Because that ship's busted, it's not going anywhere, and he obviously doesn't know unless he's fixed it. But...
No, he's talking about this ship.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't going.
So when he says thanks for the loan of the ship, is he being a sarky?
Yeah, he's being sarky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, actually, thank you for giving me the money so I can take your ship away. That's
Yeah. I'm just wanted to check in case there was something else
That's fair.
nefarious going on. Because I feel like this game would do that to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you guys think it's a long Firefly,
Yes.
they've left you behind and you're trapped there. You're not quite sure what's going on and everything just feels weird.
That is a predominant feeling, yes.
It's understandable. It's even weirder because as you're standing there sort of looking down at everything else, you can see the slime that is on the walls that has slowly started to corrupt the whole place is starting to glow.
My eyebrow goes up. And so the slime is glowing but not moving.
No.
It's glowing.
You look to your left and then right. And then you look at both directions at the same time.
Oh no.
And I see both directions at the same time.
You see both directions at the same time. Before you snap yourself back too, and then go back to yourself again. Something bad is going down. You're splitting.
No. Is there any way I can get away from the slime?
Well, you tell me. It's your character.
So there's the slime at the side of this tunnel, and behind me there are these shutter decks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
Tell it a really, really long story, and maybe it'll open to boredom.
That is difficult.
I have a
assume
thought.
there are some secondary exits that are not like directly here. That you said there's an atmosphere around the ship, right?
Yes.
So I can find a secondary exit and then leave the inner of the ship where the whole slimy, glubby thing is.
If you can find one on time before you split into two and possibly be trapped here forever.
Yeah, that's my plan. I think that's my.
Excellent. Make a roll. Difficulty 4. I'll get back to you. As you're desperately trying to find a way out. Upstairs, he sort of looks and he goes, perhaps I haven't introduced myself properly. I am a person of interest who has been trying to find out exactly how much these ships can handle. I have a weapon that we have created amongst my family, and now we are hoping to use it across the land. This is but our second test. I believe you're familiar with the first, Eliza.
Eliza is not there at the moment.
Oh, she's not there. God damn it, Chex.
She's BRB.
Damn you, Chex.
I would then go for Explorer.
Why did I pretend I didn't say any of that until Eliza gets there? Henrik, make your roll.
So I'm going Explorer. I'll take Resourceful, Nimble.
I'll take that.
And I'll try to use tracking to find like steps leading to these kind of like exits.
I'll take it. Make the roll.
So those are 3 and difficulty 3 plus Explorer plus Try. That's 5. What's the difficulty again? 4, right?
4.
I'll take another 4, so a total of 9.
Yeah, that's good odds.
Yeah. No, actually, I took another, so I'm 10. I'm going with 5.
Wow, you're really pushing it. Let's see what you got.
One,
One,
two,
two,
three,
three,
four,
four, five. Wow, you did that. That was worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stolen from you.
Oh.
Okay. You, when Chex is back, we'll jump back to you guys when Chex is back. You're running around the place trying to find a place you can go, and you've just about seen one. You look up, you know the big mast that sits on top of the whole area. That mast has a ladder that climbs up. So if you went up the ladder, you should be fine. There's only one slight problem. The ladder is surrounded by slime.
Well, that is no bueno.
Like on the slides. But the way out is right there. It's the only way off the ship. Everything else is sealed. And you say out loud, and then you say again.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
I know what you could do.
Question.
Yes.
I have 2 of my large hunting knives in the greaves of my like armored boots.
Mm-hmm.
Could I like theoretically try to use them and go like from slit to slit, kind of like use the other side of
Ew. Yeah, you can do that. I think that's fine. You shouldn't get any slime on you. Just don't get slime.
Yeah. I don't want to get slime on me, especially this coat. It costs more than probably the cutter. So, I mean,
I'll give you that. Difficulty 3 because it looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, cool. I think I'm going to go for
Give me a second.
Bragger.
I'll back to you in a minute. We'll leave you trying to climb up using the thing that's like just desperately trying to get up there. All right, back to you, Chex. You're out there, right, Chex?
I'm here. Yes.
Okay. He leans in and he sort of goes, this is a device that we're using to test the capabilities of our new weapon that we have developed for our family. You, of all people, should be familiar with the first time we used it, Eliza.
Should I be?
Yes, he's talking about the first time you lost an Imperial ship.
Oh,
Remember you went there? You don't know what happened?
yes.
God, I can't keep this up. I'm trying so hard. Oh,
There's a lot to take in here, like. Calm down.
You also said the first time that this was their second experiment of this new weapon. You should know the first.
Yeah. It's not my fault. It's yours.
That's what I said. Is that what I said? Isn't that what I said this
You
time?
basically said it in slightly different words, but
okay, same thing.
So it looks
And
like
it looks like it goes. However, I believe the developer of this desire has interest in you specifically, Eliza Whitethorn. So I'm giving you an offer. Get on your cutter ship and fly away, and speak not of what you've seen here, and no one will be the wiser. Take your friend with you. Stay, and unfortunately, I'll have to make sure I erase the evidence.
She looks at Jessamine for a moment, and maybe there's eye contact or something in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll look back to the Admiral. I'm staying, and this experiment is going awry. It must be stopped.
Thank God that you left the man with the guns behind.
He looks at you and he's sort of like, I'm sorry to hear that, as he pulls a gun.
What? I'm going to use this now because I've been saving it because I didn't want to overdo it too much. But secret of luck. Once per refresh, you declare something almost unbelievably coincidental or lucky happens to your benefit.
Okay.
So he pulls a gun, and then like a pipe next to him springs a leak, and green slime starts shooting out at him.
All right, you see, okay, so it spreads out, and you see him like cover his hand, and he starts screaming like bloody murder, and his eyes are like red, and he's screaming up. And as he's screaming, you see his body's like splitting into two. But both of them are screaming, Jessamine! But it's not time for you guys to get away or fight. If you want to fight two of them.
No, my plan isn't to fight, it's to grab the tubes and whatnot on this thing.
Okay. It's a big thing. You want to grab it and just yank it off?
Kind of. I don't know if this will work.
It's worth a shot.
But there's a thing under Ghost Pod called Overload.
Ooh. It's when you put your hand into a machine and overload it. That'll work way better. Do that.
Yeah, it's essentially what I'm going for.
Do it. Make the roll.
Okay. So I've got 2.
Difficulty is 5.
So it's to the beginning with the route, but for free. And I have 7 tokens. Fuck it.
7 tokens?
Let's throw all 7 in there.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hey, you want to playtest this, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, keep going. I mean, like, we'll find out in a minute.
Yep. Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just. Wow. Still card. Still card. Still card. Still card. Still card. Still card. Oh yeah, still all of that. All of that. All that's mine. So that's you. Okay. You put your hand directly in it. Now, when you want a 5, right? Normally, I let you describe what you want, but this has a specific effect that it does. 2 things happen. 1, you put your hand in it, and you experience every single version of time and space that you have ever existed. For exactly 1 second, you can make something real that couldn't possibly be real. And the first thing that jumps into your mind as you do for that split second is you see Nicholas's face.
Nice.
As you put it in, and he flashes back towards you. And you see him there in full form, and he's happy, and he's smiling, and he's happy, and he's reaching for you. But he's not reaching for you. He's reaching for a version of you, the one that he loves. And you see another woman come up from behind you and hug him and give him a big smile, and they look really happy. Then you see another version whereby he is on his deathbed dying, and this is your Nicholas, and he's looking towards you and he wants to say something, but he can't. But it's not you that's there to him, but another version of you that's there taking care of him, watching him die. But you see him get better and then move forward. And then slowly but surely, you see better and better versions of the world that you left behind. All of them are better than the one you saw right now. You can change one thing about the world you live in this spot in time that you like.
Oh, God.
You wanted a more open-ended question to stump checks. That's
And while you do that, let's go to the roll that you're making down there, Gareth. So, Lord Firefly, you've got to climb this thing without getting the green slime on you.
So again, I'm going explorer. I'm going resourceful because I'm using cool knives.
Okay.
I'm going cautious because I don't want to touch that ever again, and in any possible future. And nimble because I'm a hunter and I am trying to climb things. So these 3.
Do it. Roll it. Let's see what you got.
So that's 3 plus explorer. That's 4 plus try is 5, and I'm going to take 1 more. Yeah, 1 more to make it 6.
You're gonna need it.
Hopefully.
You got it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not you.
I haven't rolled yet, but
Yeah,
cool. I got it. Okay, then I don't have to roll.
1, 2, there. You got it. 3. Just.
Yeah. Let it go.
Okay. You can change one thing, Eliza, about the entire world that you know. What would you like to change? I promise there are not going to be horrible repercussions in the future.
I hope not, because what I'm going for is Carson Talbot.
You're going to bring your husband back to life from the dead?
Yeah. Good intentions and all that, you know?
Yeah. So all you're going to do is bring him back from the dead, right?
I'm bringing back the version that Jessamine Bell fell in love with.
Wait, hold on. What? Oh, so you're gonna be Carlton. I'm sorry, you're gonna bring Carlton back. So
Yeah, but
I mean, it's true because otherwise he can't because he's been split into multiple versions.
no, don't say that. There's always a way.
Come on, Lloyd. Love finds a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just make sure because you're playing with Lloyd, so safe and happy and like right next to you, so you could save him easily.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
Wow, you guys don't trust me at all. Okay.
Because like you were gonna say you bring him back to life, but I bet like you would have brought him inside the hole,
Yeah.
and then he would have got ripped apart again.
Well,
Like,
I just had that image.
You guys make me sound so evil. I'm not. All right.
I'm also going to say that you brought back the version that I love. That probably is going to mean that he's like some teenager or something.
I'm not, guys. I'm not a twister. It's fine.
Okay.
Would Jessamine mind?
You reach out and you grab him and you bring him back, and that's all you can do as you go flying back, and your hand is now covered in this green goo that glows, and you stare at it in fear. But then the glow just becomes nothing and then stays the same. At the same time, the entire ship starts to shudder and shake and basically will itself out of existence. On board, Augustus is screaming. It's like, Elijah! And it's like his body is splitting into two, but they both fucking hate you. And they're both reaching for their guns, and they're both to start shooting just around all of you. Lord Gareth, you made it to the top, right?
Yes.
You are now on top of the mast. You had to give up your knives, though. I do apologize for that. That's gone.
No. Okay.
But you've just crawled on top of the mast, and below you, but you can't see into it, you can hear gunfire as they're firing directly below you. The two of you are in the middle of like a crazy action. Like the guns are blazing around and shooting about. What do the two of you do?
I turn my key of conscience and get in front of Jessamine.
Oh. You're going to try and take the bullet for Jessamine? I'll give it to you if you want to mark dead.
Yeah. Yep, I'll do it.
Jesus. You're going all the way out.
I would actually want to rappel down and try to intervene somehow.
No problem. Not for this, because she's gone straight for that. So the shot will go off. That's gonna happen no matter what. The shot will go off. It's gonna hit you specifically, Eliza, in the chest. Mark the dead box, and you're gonna fly into Jessamine, and Jessamine's gonna fall off the ship, out of harm's way, because you gave that up for her.
Okay. So you pulled my partner, lover, whatever, out of nowhere.
Don't worry about it.
Out of nowhere, and then like leapt in front of us, and we all topple off.
Yep.
Oh god.
She's not falling into the depths; she's just falling off the ship. Remember, you had to climb up to it, and you see Augustus is crawling up, and he's still looking for you. He's screaming, and another version of him is coming out of his other side, and it's like pulling itself out, and it's also screaming bloody murder. Meanwhile, at the top, Gareth.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
They are basically, I'm on the mast, and they're like these steel cables going downwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the hangar part of the ship. So I would basically get out. I probably have something like a grappling hook or something, and would use it to
You have a harpoon gun.
I have a harpoon gun, so I would take one of these kind of like steel harpoons and then try to rappel down to come to the aid as the hero that I hope I am.
I love it. Difficulty 4. Make the roll.
Let's see which one I can use there.
Let me refresh the soundtrack.
I'm going to go braggart and go confidence and ego? No. I will go explorer again, I guess. Resourceful and nimble.
I won't give you resourceful because you're using your own weapons.
Yeah, well then cautious? No, cautious is no.
Gosh, there's nothing cautious about that.
Gentlemen, I'll go gentleman, and as I heard gunshots, I will take chivalry because I'm going to try to save them.
I'll give it to you.
And protect.
I'll give that to you too. Difficulty 3. Make a roll.
I'm taking one more dice, so I get try, gentleman, chivalry, and protect. That's 4 dice. I'm taking 5 in total, so I'm using my last 2 dice for this. Oh no, I'm going 46. So 1 die remaining.
Nice.
2.
So you shoot, and then you start to slide down, but you get about halfway when the ship starts to shudder out of existence, and it trips you up. So you start to fall, and you slam into the side of the wall, and then you roll a little bit off the side, and now you're hanging like on the top of the. You know the hangers are big doors. You're hanging at the very far top, and it's like a 30-foot fall down. You might make it, maybe. Get lucky if you don't break a leg or two. But you're hanging up there. But you can see into the hangar, though. So that's one off. Jessamine, you're on the ground, dazed, with Eliza's body on top of you. A hand reaches up and it grabs you. And you look up to see Carson looking down at you, helping you up to your feet. And he's looking around going, what's going on? What happened? What's happening? What's going on? Are the pirates back? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think she's dazed for a moment, and then she kind of like feels the weight and like comes back to reality, and like looks, and her like she's soaked in blood, and there's blood on her hands, and the like potentially unconscious form of Eliza, and she's like Eliza, and like wiping blood over her face, like trying to get her hair out of her face, and she doesn't seem to be reacting too much, but in all the franticness, maybe she still breathes. And then she looks up to the hand helping her, and it's her Carson. Is it the Carson that she remembers?
It's a Carson that you know and remember.
Okay.
100%. This is Carson. No doubts whatsoever. Definitely 100% Carson that you love. The one you remember.
Okay.
The one you love to bits.
The best Carson.
I was told specifically there's a Carson you love, so that's the Carson you've got.
Okay. She says, while he's like asking questions, she just goes, "Shut up, you fool!" and like grabs him by the front of the shirt and pulls him in to kiss.
Oh. Get 2 XP for kill the mission.
Oh, awesome. And then like she goes, "You can fly. Go to and she like points past him to the cutter and goes, "That's our ship." And she like starts to like get up and like carrying Eliza.
Okay.
Gonna run for the ship with him and with the intention.
Right, so he takes it that hand. It also starts to run as well. You can see Lord Firefly's hanging by one hand, like, oh god! Behind you guys, there's now 6 Augustuses.
Okay.
And they just keep forming more and more, and they are coming for you. They've got like some of them have knives and they're crawling up towards you. Some of them are weedy and ugly. Some of the big heavy guys with rifles. They're just multiplying and they're not stopping as they're coming towards you. What do the 2 of you do? Lord Firefly, what do you do up there?
I would like to try to somehow get down and close the gate as they are running, or something like try to close off the gate from the onrushing mob.
For when you're hanging, you could probably shoot with your rifle the controls on the side to bring the gates to a close.
Okay.
It's not a shot.
I will do
so. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Don't make me
I will do so. I am. I will use my gun, not my my rifle, and I will go for this
difficulty 4.
Difficulty 4. So I'm going to go with Explorer. I'm going to go with a Resourceful because this is like a new esoteric use of the gun. It's not the straightforward.
No. Oh. No. I'm not giving you Resourceful. Actually, no, I can't give you Resourceful because you are close in the door. I'll give it to you.
A Resourceful, Nimble, and Rifle.
I can't. You are hanging. I'll give you Nimble and Rifle. Yeah, make the roll.
Yeah. And yeah, that's 3 + 1 for Explorer and 1 for Try. And what is the difficulty?
Difficulty's 4.
So I'll use the last die.
Yeah.
And that's 5d6.
Just make the roll make it 6. Oh yeah, so you got a die, didn't you? Because you failed the last roll.
I failed the last roll. That's 2. So I'll use both of these dice. So
yeah.
Yeah, no guts, no glory. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 76. Because I had 3 applicable. Come on! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow, you do it. All right. So, good news. The door starts to close behind you on the hangar. Jessamine, you are limping, but you're carrying a body and you're trying to get out. as fast as you can. And the people at the bar like he's forming more and he's screaming Eliza's name as he's trying to get towards you. You need to make a roll to get to that door. Difficulty's only 3 though.
Okay.
I'm sure you don't need the dice for anything else. You should have been all here.
You mean like the piloting role that's going to happen?
I don't know what you're talking
about. What could do with getting out the hangar, I suppose. So I have 1 dice, and then I'm going to choose underestimated, because people always underestimate her and what she's capable of.
Okay.
It includes such tags like escapes, which I feel is probably relevant. There's jump, in case we are jumping over, ruined bits of hangar and, jumping through the final door as it slams shut.
I'll give it to you.
There is underdog.
No.
She's injured and carrying a person and being attacked.
No.
Okay. This is a daring move.
I'll give it to you.
It's also a brave move.
No.
Which are 2 separate tags.
No.
Okay. So I've got 5.
No, I would argue for brave.
Don't start with me checks.
She isn't leaving Eliza behind.
I will cut you. You don't get brave. You're running away from the problem. You're not running towards the problem.
True. I also agree with you, checks, but true. I am going to. So I need 3 successes.
Yeah, that's all you need to be fine. Just
Let's
roll.
spend
Just
another
fail.
3.
Just fail for Lloyd.
To get to 8 dice, and then let's spend another one. I'm going to roll at 9.
Nice.
So I'm spending 4 of the 9 dice I have.
Well, you do it.
2, 3.
Just.
Yeah, 3 6s.
Honestly, just
do it. Roll that dice. You just happen to get to the very edge. There's a bit where the doors are closing like that, and you're like, "Ugh!" And then the 3 of you just like slaughter through as it slams from Augustus' screaming face as he like claws at the door and it shuts down. Yo, Holmes, up in the roof, you can drop down by just sliding on the building if you like.
I was going to go and rescue him once we had the ship up and running, but instead of making the drop.
Yeah, but like the doors are closing, so like he could probably just climb down if he wanted to.
Yeah. Slide down on the sliding doors.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I'm not gonna force him to be like, oh, by the way, you're trapped up there, and I'm gonna roll 1,000,000 dice. Because I was like, I dropped him up there, I'll be fair, and he got himself out. All right, well, good news, you don't have to throw about the threat of the ship. Bad news, this ship is disappearing.
It like phasing even more and more, so sometimes our feet are going through it or something.
Yep, you're like struggling to basically stay. You're like, you don't know how this is working because reality is weird, but you're struggling to stay basically focused.
So, is there any craft we can use to leave the ship?
There is your ship.
Okay, then we should go to our ship.
Okay, so here's the problem. Your ship is busted and leaking and can barely fly. You're going to need to make me a difficulty 5 roll if you want to get out of here. Everyone looks towards Jessamine.
I have no dice left, so yeah.
Oh, I have dice. I don't really have any piloting skills. But...
just go underestimated with brave underdog because nobody expects you to fly.
There you go. Yeah. It's like riding a bike. I never wanted to ride a bike.
I'll tell you what. Actually, what's her name? Eliza, you're like on the floor, like bleeding. You're like, it's like riding the bike.
Yeah. I try and seduce the ship. No.
Riding a penny.
Your husband should be.
Yeah, I was going to mention. Could I maybe get an extra dice from the husband assisting?
I'll give you an extra dice
in the military.
for Carson assisting you.
That eye roll.
I know. Look at it. Okay, so we start at 1, and then we get extra 1 for Carson, and then I think underestimate. I'm going to have to use much of the same before or try. So go underestimate. This is an escape again. Is this underdog because I'm not the pilot? I'm not expected to do this.
No,
okay.
I'm not giving you underdog for that. Underdog means that you're facing something that's better than you. It's not you just sitting in the car going, fuck it. Had you I know
Is this
beginner's luck? I'd use that.
okay? Daring.
Daring, I'll give you
Getting
daring.
away from a phasing ship.
I'll give you daring. I won't give you brave. I'll give you daring.
Okay, that puts me at 5 again. So I normally people would be tempted to maybe use all of their dice because it might be the last roll, but I have a feeling you might make me try and land this thing. So I
I need to stop playing my dice. I need to stop doing this shit thing.
What was the
It sounds
difficulty?
like I'm the evilest GM alive. Like I intentionally just make you spend all your resources and go, oh, you need to make one more roll, guys.
Yeah. What was the difficulty?
5.
5.
Oh Christ! I think I'm gonna have to just stick the landing, and I'll put everything into this. Otherwise, we aren't getting away.
Yep.
Okay, so that's all my remaining points. And here we go.
After that, you can use your XP to regain dice.
My God, that's horrendous. I don't think I actually made it.
1, 2, 3. 3? You do not make it. Hey,
Hang on,
plus side though. You get a token back.
No, I got 3. I can't get any larger pool. I can make someone else re-roll, but I can't re-roll myself. It wasn't technically Carson making the roll, and I could re-roll it.
No, I can't give that to you. So,
God damn
the
it!
ship sputters and tries to keep itself steady, and you've got it just about pumped up and just ready. And you're like, okay, time to go. Woo. It powers down. At which point, the hammer ceases to exist, and you fall. You are now pummeling towards the ground at a stupidly fast rate in a ship that cannot possibly move. Everything is going horribly, horribly wrong. You will hit the ground in about 30 seconds.
Well, that lucky would have been nice now. Can we have, in these 30 seconds, a refresher, perhaps?
What? No! No, I can't give you a 30-second refresher. I can't give you remember the time when you nearly fell out the ship? Yeah, that was crazy. I know, we should hang out more often. Okay, right, refresher time. No, I can't give you a refresher while you're falling. Oh, to be honest, I get that a lot. People always go, before we meet the bad guy, I have a flashback.
I've got to admire the don't ask, don't get, you know?
I always have to try.
What do you guys do?
Let me check. I get out my private parachute that I always have.
No, I need a private parachute.
For one person only. I don't. I have no one.
You might want to look at the ship. You might have something on the cutter that might help.
I mean, it might have this escape pod thing.
So it has
emergency escape raft.
I have a question.
Yeah,
you did.
Okay. I'm dead, but yeah, I'm still going to ask the question.
Go for it.
So Carson is a naval man, as it were. He's a sky sailor.
Yeah.
He knows cutters.
Yeah.
Does he know if there's an emergency parachute?
Yeah, there's an emergency escape raft on there, but it can only take 3 passengers.
Well, that is good.
Can it take 3 passengers and some cargo in inverted commas?
No.
Oh, that's...
Can we I don't know, throw her up while the raft falls down?
No, you can't do that.
Strap her to the raft.
She is we have to assume that she's dead.
I mean, Jessamine isn't that? She thought she was alive or had enough left in her, like she thought her husband was alive. And then she's been piloting, so she doesn't know. Maybe you were checking. Maybe you were.
So Lord Gareth Firefly would check on her because she said something very bad about his Imperium. So he would like to check if she's alive while he's piloting.
You're falling 30. You have 30 seconds to get on the emergency raft to leave.
Okay.
And you really gotta go. Hang on a second. Let me get my stethoscope out.
Okay.
I'm happy, but I'm not sure.
Okay, then we go on the escape raft.
So yeah, with like a minute to go or 30 seconds to go, like readying the escape craft, Jessamine would go to the still warm body of Eliza, probably still has bled out in a corner or something. Does she have a locket around her neck with her and her husband in?
She does not, but hanging probably maybe around her wrist is Hank's locket.
Is Hank's locket. She doesn't. The thing is that Jessamine doesn't know the whole Hank story unless it's a bit.
Yep.
So she just maybe thinks.
So you guys are going to leave. You're going to leave, possibly, maybe still alive.
I mean,
Eliza
So it's
behind.
either one of the living people or her, right?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, someone has chivalry that they've been trying to use a lot.
I mean, one thing I would like to say is she's a traitor to the Imperium. So if anything, I would
don't know that.
execute her. She said "fuck the Imperium" in my
Oh, yeah,
face.
she didn't. Never mind.
So I would actually, like, on the way out, perhaps pop a cap into her.
Yes, but
Are you about to turn this into like?
No, just kidding. I would just go into the raft because I'm a fucking coward.
yeah. Women and children first. Lord Firefly is dressed with the apron and frilly knickers.
Okay, so I kneel down by your side, still covered in your blood, and like I hold your hand and find the locket, and take that from your dead grasp, and then I mean I don't know if it was open or something. It's just of a woman. Like that's all she knows. It probably doesn't even look that much like you, but she brings your head to her lips, just like and kisses you on the forehead, and just says, "Thank you for bringing me back my life."
And as she goes, you hear a voice say, "You can thank her yourself," before you feel a heavy weight hit you in the back of the head.
What? Okay.
Lord Gareth, you're there in the raft waiting, and Carson comes in the two bodies.
Just Carson comes
With the two ladies in his arms.
I'll just go.
Lady Claw.
What is happening? That one is a traitor. Leave her back. Leave her
He
behind.
looks over at you and he goes, "I remember everything. This woman saved my life." And he throws what's called Jessamine inside, and then he throws her in there. And he holds onto the edge and he looks up at you and he goes, "If you even remotely do something to her, I will find you somehow. I don't know how. I don't know where. Do you understand?"
Preposterous, but yes.
Good. And then he slams the emergency raft, and then you drift away.
Oh.
Oh,
Jessamine,
that's heartbreakingly beautiful.
Jessamine, you wake up just in time to watch Carson still on the falling ship, watching you sail back.
This is when her composure goes and she just screams, watching every last moment as the ship explodes or whatever.
It just crashes. It goes past. Actually, it doesn't crash. No, it wouldn't. It goes past the body of Haven and it falls into the depths. As the two of you sail away and sad music plays.
The end credits for the Incredible Hulk. The original.
Well.
Everyone can have a refresh period before we end the game.
In that case,
Wow.
Do you want to refresh with the corpse?
Remember, because refresh periods remove one tag.
Ah.
I ain't dead no more.
Yes.
So we consider a refresh period happening and refresh your prologues before I finish the game.
So what prologue?
Your prologue.
Epilogue, yeah. So is this set after this particular thing?
Whatever time you want. It's an epilogue. You can set it whenever you want.
I'm gonna set like maybe there's a week goes by or something, and like Jess visits Elle or Eliza in hospital occasionally when during that when she can, at least during her recuperation period. And one time she comes home from the hospital to her house, and there is she like goes home and gets like comfy or whatever, and makes dinner, and then the same way that she was contacted before, like their radio or something bursts into life, and it's Carson repeating the exact same message to get her to go on this adventure in the first place.
But it's coming from somewhere else this time.
Possibly. Or maybe it's the same thing and the ship's come back, phased back into reality. Who knows?
Who knows? Secondly, Lord Firefly?
Well, Lord Firefly felt in his own body how it is to be twofold. And he saw the multiple iterations of Augustus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has some clues to go on. And although he's a coward, he knows how to use the apparatus to find information and use his noble heritage. And I think he is now like on the hunt. He's driven to find out what really happened there, and he's trying to like dig up information on this Augustus and his illegal machinations, because all the time when he like sleeps, he remembers this grueling experience, which drives him ever so closer to insanity.
You are searching through all of the information, trying to find whatever it is that started this whole thing up. And a name keeps popping up that you're starting to get slightly worried, because they're a noble house that went into destitution just a few years ago before all this started. The name Whitethorn.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Eliza.
As Eliza lies in her hospital bed, she's in and out of consciousness quite a lot. The days rattle by, no meaning to her. She is aware of visitors, or at least a visitor, that steps by every so often. She sees daffodils on the bedside table. She assumes the visitors brought them. And one day she grabs that visitor's hand. Miss Bell. Without opening her eyes, she just rasps, "I'm sorry." And that night is when Miss Bell goes home and hears the transmission on the radio.
And finally, there's a bit where you're dreaming just after that moment, and the bed next to you feels soft, like someone just like dented it by sitting down. Your eyes pop open and you see a hand gently caressing yours. He's wearing a military uniform and he looks dashing as handsome as you remember him to be. But Nicholas sits by your side. And he looks at you and he sort of rubs his hand across the back of your head and he's like, "Hey, darling. That was some mighty spell casting you did back there. But I need you to do me one more favor. Tell Jessamine to stop looking for me." And that's all you remember before he gets up and walks away. You don't even get a chance to say anything. The camera pans to Jessamine listening to the radio. And the camera pans one more time to a picture of Jessamine and Carson together with a big smile on his face and hugging. Except the picture of Carson isn't the same actor that's been playing Carson in every single scene. It fractures and changes until it looks exactly like Nicholas. And that's all right in the session, guys. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Everything was grand, right?
Oh my god.
You bastard.
They're the same person all along.
Okay, so with reality bending stuff, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Oh god, it's over. I can die. Thank Christ. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was nice. It started slow, but it ended well, I hope. And see you guys later. And in broadcast in 3, 2, 1.